Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks NYTrading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell, okay? I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please, secure.
Hey everyone, welcome, good day. Thanks for joining. We're gonna get started in just a couple minutes. Hope everyone's having a great day. I'm gonna jump in this post-New York wild markets. Can you guys hear me okay? Okay, good.
Hey guys, good morning. Welcome to the live session of Stocks NYTrading. My name is Dave, guys. My partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.
Hey everyone, welcome to Stocks NYTrading. My name is Ron, my partner is Dave. Thanks everyone for joining. It is 11 a.m. Eastern. Hopefully you guys rolled those clocks back and you got the right time here. But it is 11 a.m. Eastern. It is Tuesday, November the 4th. And just want to say happy birthday to my sister. Today is my sister's birthday. And a very, very special happy birthday to her. So welcome everyone. Thanks everyone for joining, especially you guys on YouTube. We're back, so thanks guys. We're doing Tuesdays and Thursdays this week with you guys, and next week we'll adjust the schedule accordingly. But everyone, this is now post New York, okay? So everything Wall Street has market has opened. So now we're gonna see how everything is settling down, and also trading into lunch hour in Wall Street. So lunch hour is technically right now from 11 till about 1 p.m. and then markets again pick up from 1 p.m. going into the close. And we also have after hours earnings. Some big names are in the earnings in the after hours, okay? So get to know, guys, how the markets move on a 24-hour cycle. That's why I like doing various sessions. I like doing, if I can stay up, London sessions. From time to time, unless I set my mind to it and I can set my alarm clock and go to sleep earlier, and I do Londons. I like to do Londons more in the winter time, when there's nothing going on. Then I can go to sleep earlier because it's minus 30 outside and a lot of snow, so I'm not really doing anything. So I like to do London. I like to see how volume moves into pre-New York. And then we have Wall Street. And then after that, now when Wall Street settles down, it's already opened, news has already been released, pre-market earnings, and then we see how volume shifts in the post session right now, intraday going into the close. And then we also like to trade power hour, going right into the close, and then again, markets cool off, new daily candles open, then we have, again, the cycle begins in Australia, New Zealand. Then we do the Tokyo session. We'll be doing those again next week. We'll put those because the Tokyo is fun again with gold. So we'll do those. And then again, you watch the volume, how then the markets open up, the futures. Then we start moving into London again, and the cycle continues. So that's why, guys, some of you guys see that I do different sessions. It's for that purpose, so we can learn different times of the day, how volume moves. Plus, everyone around the world has different times. For you guys, it might be a completely different time and a good time to be trading at right now. I enjoy this time as well. I got the kids to school, coming out of Wall Street. You get to relax and then see how everything is moving. But remember, the volatility, the momentum, everything is different at this time, okay? So every session you do, you always have to use the proper risk for the session you're trading, okay? Maybe your risk management is different when you trade London, it's different when you trade Wall Street market open, and it could be different the way how you trade right now, okay? So let's everyone just focus on our own accounts. Please be not just a trader, you're also an account manager and you're a risk manager at the same time. So when people ask you, what do? You tell them, I'm a trader, I'm an account manager, and I'm a risk manager. Those three things, because that's literally what we are when we're trading the markets. Those are the three things that we have to do, okay? So you're all three of those things. So it's not easy being a trader because there's a lot of things that you have to balance. On top of that, you also have to be your own psychologist. You always have to, you got to understand your own emotions and things like that. There's always that little voice in your head telling you, you should buy here, sell here, do this, do that. How do you handle drawdown? How do you handle when you're in profit? How do you handle shitty days? How do you handle good days? So trading is not easy. That's why please work on this on a daily basis and correct your mistakes. If I can save you a lot of time and money, it's right now, it's telling you guys, learn from your losses. Losses are lessons, and please learn from them, okay? So that's our message for to start the day. I hope you guys have some coffee ready to go. And also a disclaimer. SST, Stock Sniper Trading, Ron and Dave are not financial advisors, okay? So any financial questions you have, go to your financial institutions, talk with a licensed financial advisor. We are here to share our knowledge, what we know in the markets, and we're here for entertainment and education, okay? How about them Blue Jays? Next year. Next year is our year. We'll get it next year, but it was disappointing. What a loss. But that, you got to admit, that was probably one of the best World Series in the last 20 years in MLB. So it was very exciting, whether you're cheering for the Blue Jays or you're not, or you're cheering for Dodgers or you're not, or you're just a baseball fan in general. It was a pretty exciting World Series. Lots of records were broken in that World Series. But we're here to talk stock markets now and financial markets. We'll talk sports a little later, okay? So thanks everyone for joining. If you guys, we got 100 viewers on YouTube, hit the likes, subscribe, and let's get started, okay? So we will be looking at gold, NASDAQ, and US30 today. But first we got to start dissecting what's going on in the news, what happened today. Donald Trump is always in the news, okay? So you can read about what's going on with Donald Trump over here. You have to know whether you like him or not. You got to follow his tweets anytime has a meeting or speaking, because he can literally move the markets, and you guys have seen that lately. So it's not just like Powell and high impact news that can move the markets. Even Donald Trump can move these markets. So you have to pay attention to wherever he is around the world and when he's speaking, okay? So we already had lots of European news. Right now, so this is what I like to look in the mid-afternoon. Are we going to be walking into any high-impact news? Is there anything that we should be concerned about? There's some European news here at noon. Again, New Zealand news at 3 p.m. And then we go in so we don't have much this afternoon news-wise. All we got to look at is the after-hour earnings. We do have some big names coming up. And then at the market close, then you got, again, how things pick up in New Zealand. You got Japanese news, and then you move into the futures and in the Tokyo session if you're going to be trading that. So we'll pick up on our Tokyo sessions going into next week, okay? And also in Japan later tonight, there is a 10-year bond auction. Also, U.S. governments are still shut down, okay? So U.S. data may be impacted by the shutdown. Tentative events are subject to delay, revision, or cancellation. And you guys know that this is the start of the new month. First Friday is traditionally NFP, scheduled for this Friday. But it was canceled the last NFP. We might have this NFP canceled. It's been a long time since I've seen back-to-back NFPs canceled 2 months in a row. So we got to take it day by day leading up to there. Okay. And what else do we got going on? Earnings. Okay, so this morning was a lot of earnings. Uber Technologies, you can see they look at the earnings per share. 67 cents was per estimate, and they hit report of $3.11. Revenue, they beat it, 13.26 billion to 13.47. Growth was 20% growth, and big surprise, over 300% surprise. So that was big for Uber. But right now, if you look at them, they're down 5% right now. It could be a market is red in general, and it was an unbelievable earnings release by Uber, but it's a red day in the markets, and then they kind of are bleeding out right now on good news. So someone will say, well, they had amazing news. Why are they not up 5%? Well, that's how markets work. You know, you might have amazing news like this, but the market is just a red day, and these guys kind of didn't benefit from it. But if you look at buying pullbacks, so if Uber had this kind of amazing earnings and it's down maybe 5%, maybe it might bleed out a little bit, then you might look for a possible opportunity to look for a swing trade, and Uber might pick up that volume again and come back up, and you're positioning yourself for a good possible trade, okay? So Uber, Shopify as well, really, really good earnings. They didn't beat the EPS. It was right at it, 34 cents. They beat their revenue, good growth, good guidance. Spotify here, all of these were in the pre-market and did really well. In the after hours, this is where more the concern is. In the after hours, this is where you get the semiconductor space. So right now, you guys know tech, AI, chips, NVIDIA, AMD, SMCI, Intel, all of these companies are kind of carrying the entire markets right now. So if these things start to sell off, we could probably see a correction in the S&P 500, NASDAQ, and possibly Dow Jones. So today, there's big earnings. You can see it kicks off with AMD, Advanced Micro Devices at $4.15. Here's their earnings per share, $1.17. Revenue, $8.7 billion. We'll see the actual reports. You can listen to forward guidance. Maybe some of you guys already own shares of AMD. Maybe some of you guys have already looked at the option chain. Maybe you guys might be holding some positions going into earnings. Okay, earnings are volatile, so you have to be very careful. And just looking at Uber, what I was just saying, they could hit it out of the ballpark and have amazing earnings, and then it's followed by a red day. So it doesn't always work just because it's not correlated. Great earnings does not always mean green positive percentage. You know how the markets are moved like this, okay? So it could be buy the rumor, sell the news event, and things like that, okay? And then we also have SMCI at 405, and there's a few other corporations, but the big ones are right up here. The top two are this after hours, okay? And this will impact NASDAQ and S&P 500 if you are trading those indices. In the news right now, Shopify reports Q3 revenue up 32% from a year ago. Revenue for the quarter totaled $2.84 billion, up from $2.16. And you can see Shopify right now is down 4%. Okay, so they've had really, really good earnings and they are down 4%. So you can see Uber, Shopify, great earnings and they're down right now. So, and then when I look at NASDAQ as a whole, NASDAQ is down 1.2% right now. So maybe it's not just correlated with the earnings, it's just to do in general. There's a big sell-off in NASDAQ and the stock markets right now. You can see that NASDAQ is leading the way. S&P 500 is down 0.53%. And Dow is relative with 0.18%. Gold is also taking a little bit of a correction day today, where it's down negative 1.37%. Okay, and then just some overall news, what's going on in the markets. Crude oil, low crude prices creating buyer's market in Canada's oil patch, fueling more consolidation. Morgan Stanley CEO stocks are heading for a correction. Okay, so again, notice the word I'm using. I'm not using the word market crash. I'm using correction, pullback. Okay, there's a big difference in the terminology that you use. Okay, markets do need to correct. They don't go up forever. You know, like they do need to rebalance. Because right now there's a lot of imbalance in the market. Same with gold. Gold was driving for 9 weeks straight and it's correcting itself right now. It's cooling off. It will eventually find a good area of demand again, and it possibly will try and make its way back up the end of this year and going into 2026. Possibly going into an all-time high territory again, or maybe it's got further pulling back to go, okay? That's why just take it day by day when you're trading. What else we got going on? Okay, so earnings live, Spotify jumps on strong results, Palantir and Uber fall. What else we got going on in the news here? Just going quickly through this. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. And then going into our Discord, guys, there was some over here in the morning, any news related to US30 is here, any news related to NASDAQ is here, any news related to DAX. We're looking for maybe a sell setup. We'll get to this. Maybe some of you guys are already in on a sell on NASDAQ. Also with gold, we're looking for sells below 39.60 or 65 right here. Okay, we'll get to all of that in just a moment. Okay, and then guys, also everyone on YouTube, thank you guys for joining. There is a free Telegram channel pinned at the top of YouTube for you guys, so it's got all of our live YouTube sessions. It's got kind of breakdowns of trade signals, trade ideas, maybe recaps of the Zoom with Dave, recaps of the Zoom with me, what we're doing here at SST, so you guys can stay up to date with everything. A reminder, guys, there's still some days if you want to sign up for this. This weekend, we're going to have a 2-day risk management kind of boot camp, Saturday and Sunday. I think I might start it at 11 a.m. or noon. Well, I'll let you guys know just ahead of time, because we might go for 3, 4, maybe possibly 5 hours each day. We'll be talking a lot about risk management. So you get to sign up for a 1 month, and then you get the boot camp included as an appreciation to you guys for signing up. Okay, and guys, we did a webinar over here, or sorry, not a webinar, a blog on losses in trading offer valuable lessons, and you can find this on our website. If you come over here, guys, here's the pop-up if you want to join. Information all about the risk management bootcamp. It's all here on the pop-up. And if you just come to the blog section right over here, there's our latest blog on losses in trading offer valuable lessons. Okay, we're all going to take losses in trading, but if you take the losses, it could possibly cause you to struggle and suffer. It all depends on how you take it, okay? Some traders are very mature about it. They take a loss, but they learn from it. They look at it as a paid lesson in the market. If I take a trade today and I lose 50 bucks on it, it's not the end of the world, but I paid the market $50 to learn a lesson. So you can look at it as just like buying a course, or you're teaching yourself something. So if you lose today, if you lose 5 bucks, 50 bucks, or $500, whatever it is, you have to you got to consider it that it's a lesson, and you got to go back and learn from it so you do not commit it again. That's how I taught myself. It's a costly lesson, and if you lose money and you teach yourself that it's a lesson in the market, go and learn from it so that you can stop committing these mistakes and possibly stop paying the market lessons. And that's how we learn lessons, costly. That's how I learn lessons. When I lose money, that's the best lesson in life. And you better learn from it, okay? And guys, let's get started. So thanks everyone for joining. If you guys can like and subscribe. I don't want to have to keep reminding everyone. If you do enjoy our content, if you do get value of what we do, then it's a token of appreciation, and it's a show of respect to us, and we pay back to you guys. So thank you guys. Now, are you guys ready? I'm going to get started with gold. I'm going to do a top-down analysis, and then we're going to move into also looking at NASDAQ and also US30, okay? So welcome everyone. Thanks everyone for joining on Zoom. Good day, good morning, good afternoon, good evening for some of you guys. Welcome. Dale, Justin, thank you for joining. Kira, welcome. Tyler, what's going on? Wild markets for the NFP week. Yes, sir. We'll see if they drop the NFP. We'll see if it's not canceled again, but welcome guys. Sergio, good morning. Thank you. Reese, welcome. Amrit, welcome. Oh, nice, Amrit. You finished your renovations. Same with me. Two months of renos here at the house, and finally completed it. It's a big, it's a big sigh of relief. Oh my God. We tore up this house. It was looking ugly, but now it looks really, really nice. So it's worth it, guys, when you renovate your homes. Welcome, Tyler. Yeah, Tyler, thank you for joining back, man. I hope everything is all good. Okay. So, and guys on YouTube, we don't forget about you guys as well. Welcome, good morning. Justin, Tony Gold, welcome. CS369, welcome. Court, man, our times are wild, but we like that. Again, I told you, I'm crazy like that. I trade all times, 24 hours around the day. That's why you got to hit that notification bell on YouTube, because, again, you don't know, I could do any session, pop-up sessions. Anytime we have time, we'll jump in the markets. Okay, guys? So let's get started. Right now, gold is pushing up. You know, there was a big sell-off it started over here. You can see Colmex pushed it down. It kind of pulled back, and then it really dropped. We found the bottom, and now it's coming right back up to test these levels. So let's start with a top-down analysis, starting with the daily, and we'll move our way down. I'm going to talk a little faster, guys, so you guys got to keep up with me. So I hope audio is all good. Because I do talk fast, okay? I have a coffee in front of me, second coffee of the day, and we're going, okay? So gold, it hit all-time high right up here. So you can see things don't go up forever. Eventually, they do got to come down. They got to correct themselves, or they got to balance themselves out, right? So right there is kind of like the all-time high at that orange line. 4,380, I would say maybe 4,400 in the futures. And see this zone, I'm making a red zone and I'm stretching it into the future so that in case gold ever does come back up to this all-time high territory, I'm ready to maybe sell it for the second time. And there's the double top. One top, there's two top, okay? Could it just break out and continue to drive? Yes, it could, and create a new all-time high. Then if it closes above there, I flip that zone green and I could be buying a pullback right here at the previous all-time high, turning into support and taking us back up to 4,500, possibly 5,000 US an ounce of gold. But we are nowhere near there. So we don't need to entertain this, but we got to know that it's a possibility, right? So get in the habit of stretching this into the future. Go next year, stretch it into, let's say, my birthday. My birthday is February 2nd, right there, Groundhog's Day. Stretch it all the way to Groundhog's Day of next year, and I'll celebrate with you guys my birthday. We'll do a live together, and we'll see if gold revisits this area on my birthday, okay? But there's also sellers in the market that are pushing the market down, and we have to respect what they're doing. We got to figure out their points of control. We got to figure out points of interest, because buyers are trying to push it up. They tried right here. These 3 days, they tried, and they failed. Again, they tried to pull it up right here, and look at they're getting pushed back down, okay? But now we might have like double bottoms building on the daily and a small W down here ready to continue to come up, but there's still selling pressure. So first thing I do is, this is a big bearish candle off of the all-time high. Definitely let's figure out the point of control of that candle. If you can't figure out where half of it is, get your Fibonacci tool. It's a very, very handy tool. I know exactly where 0.5 is, and I do it from the opening balance to the closing balance, okay? I don't do from the highest to the lowest. I do it opening balance to the closing balance. And I mark my 0.5 with a yellow line. All daily points of interest on my charts are yellow lines. And then where's the point of control? It is respectively, it's either the 382 or the 618, depending how your Fib tool is set up. But regardless of, I'm not looking at the Fibonacci ratio, I'm looking at just the one Fib ratio above and the one Fib ratio below the 0.5, and it's this zone right here. So I get that kind of the meat of that candle right in here, and I stretch it into the future. Now the question is, have the buyers brought it back into this point of control? The answer is no. The answer is no. There's no debate about this, because I don't see the buyers or any blue candle coming in this zone, right? The highest it got up to was right here, this high of this day on Wednesday, October 22, when it came up right there. That's the highest point. So that is resistance, right? It hasn't even came into the point of control. So sellers are there and they're lowering their offers right here. They drop the market down. Again, it came back up the next day. Look, equal highs, and they dropped it back down. It came up again, lower highs. So you can see it's slowly trending down. And then they really redistributed the volume on Monday last week. Really strong push down all the way down there. So now we can find a little bit of a bottom, and we can see it coming back up. So you see this big bearish candle? It's completely different from Wednesday's candle, Thursday's candle, and Friday's candle. Look at the volume wise. This is a big bearish ignited candle. So those are those bodies that we'd like to define points of control and analyze. These bodies. These ones are important, but this one gives us more information and more volume. So I'm doing the same thing with this candle. I'm taking my Fib tool from the opening balance to the closing balance. I'm identifying 50% exactly of that candle. I'm basically cutting the candle in half. And then I'm finding the point of control. Again, same thing I did with that candle above. I'm doing the same thing with that candle. We all got that, guys? You got to be on the same page with me. Because if you're lost right now, then things are going to start to get more complicated as I go into the hourly and then into the 5 minutes. But do you guys see how I'm working my way down from the top and I'm coming down? That's what a top-down analysis is. Do we got this? Put a thumbs up in the YouTube. Let me know, guys. Are you guys breathing? Are you guys awake here? Because if this is confusing, I promise you it's going to get even more confusing. So this is pretty basic stuff. I'm not doing anything extraordinary here, okay? And then you see what I'm doing? I'm just finishing it off by stretching it into the future, okay? And now I can see Friday, look, the Friday's high traded right into 50%, and what was the reaction? It got rejected and it got pushed back down. So this is not a surprise, right? We shouldn't be surprised. Is there a blue candle that has broke through here and closed above this for us to invert this zone and make it green so that we can come up to this yellow line? Not to go through the all-time high. We got to remember, trading is in levels. It's in blocks. It's in points of interest. We have to test this yellow line before we can get in here. Before we get to all-time high, we got to transact in that block. Like it could come right in there and then they push it right back down, right? So those are our levels above us. That's what the buyers are going up against, and sellers are still winning the battle currently, okay? So stretching everything into the future. Now, we have a big bullish candle that kind of found a bottom down in here. So do we have a point of interest where, yes, I can see this was a low all the way down there. I can even identify that low with a point of interest, a yellow line, 3,886 looks like the lowest point. And then you see where it built support. Now you can basically teach yourself price action. See where it made that? And if you identify it, you look to the left of the chart. Look at where it was. It's this big body of this candle, and then there was a wick, a wick, a wick. That yellow line was resistance at this time in early October, and then you had a closing candle above, and it took multiple months before it came and retraced all the way back down, and it tested it now, and now it's support. So you see how the buyers came back up and then it came back down. But now you see there's another point of interest. Now I got bodies of volume right here. There's a body close and a body open, 3,928. And then when I look again, this is how you teach yourself price action. When you draw your line there, you look backwards and you see how it's not exactly 50%, because if I was cutting it in half, it would be right there. So I know that this is the 618 or the 382. It's the one line above, a little bit above, a little bit below. And look at today's low. Look at where gold dropped down to. Look at my lowest point today. It is exactly at that opening balance, okay? So if you guys do this ahead of time and you position yourself, like you got to do this on this day, on October 30th. Right? Today is November 4th. Someone will say, well, this looks easy now when you're doing it right now. But that's why you got to do some type of analysis on the weekend, get your charts ready for the upcoming week, and place alerts at these locations, okay? And believe me, once you start getting in the habit of doing that, your trading is going to completely change, okay? So is that a big bullish candle? Yes, it is. All I see is black candles. This is the first bullish candle that's been produced, and it closed right near the high, and it continued right into that point of control, but then we came right back down. So with this big bullish candle, let's do the same thing. Let's find the point of control of this big bullish candle just like we did for those preceding bearish candles. How do we do that? Opening price of this bullish candle. Remember, bullish candles open from the bottom and they close at the top. And if I look at 50%, 0.5 is right there. 3,973, just a couple bucks off of that nice psychological 39.75, okay? And now I can find that bullish point of control of that candle right there. And had I found it ahead of time and I stretched it into the future, I can see the next day it came right in. Look at where the wick kind of found some support right in there and went right back up. Next day again, it opened, spin top, came right in there a little lower. So it is creating lower lows, but there's buyers in there bringing it right back up, and it closed right there. Today would have been a great day if we opened, and it did push up. We should have technically been filling this wick, but sellers jumped in right away and dropped it. So continuing with this zone in the future, because this daily candle has not closed yet. There's 5.5 hours still to go. So sellers might push it down, close below here, then that zone will be red again. If the buyers push it up, it's still green. If it closes right here, it's still green. Then I would maybe think that tomorrow is going to be a bullish day coming out of here. If the buyers push it all up today and it closes above the green zone, maybe tomorrow we get a bullish ignited open ready to come back up, okay? So you got to treat this as if, this is a 5-minute candle. You got to be patient and disciplined. If you're a daily trader, unfortunately, you got 5.5 hours to wait till this daily candle closes. But you can go down to the 4-hour, you can go down to the hourly, you can go down to the 30-minute, and you can look for your setups on your particular time frame. Okay, so I'm stretching that into the future again, and so that is where we're transacting right in there. Let's follow today's volume now. Okay, so now I see yesterday was a crazy day. It was bullish right up there, lower high, didn't come in, just tapped in that red zone, and then it went back down. Sellers brought it down to the opening balance. Sellers pushed it all the way down. They took out the previous day's low all the way there, created a new lower low. You have to create lower lows in order to keep pushing down, and buyers have to create a new higher high in order to continue to push up. So they're failing at the highs, and sellers are pushing down at the lows. Wicks do damage. Body of volume tells you the story. So when it came down there, the candle didn't close down there. The buyers brought it right back up, and look at where we closed, virtually right where we opened. So yesterday in gold was a bearish spin top candle. It's kind of like a coin flip. I would just give maybe an extra 5% because there was a little tiny bit of bearish volume. So if you ask me who won yesterday's candle, I would say sellers won 55-45. Percentage-wise, right? Not a 50-50. It's not a technical coin flip. That would have been closed right at the opening balance. There's a lip, so I give benefit of doubt just a tiny bit. These are the worst candles to trade because it's basically like a coin flip. So today it could have opened bullish and we went back up, but the coin flip had the sellers pushing it back down, okay? So let's now follow our closing price and opening price. So there was the closing price yesterday and our opening price. Look at it. It's exactly 4,000. Okay. So you got to understand how markets also work psychologically in the auction. You guys, if you haven't learned over the 6 years that SST has been here live every single day, talking about psychological numbers, then you got to subscribe to this channel because we'll teach you all about that. So am I surprised that this all happened right at 4,000? I personally am not surprised. I'm not, because I see this every single day, not just on gold, on every single security I trade. Psychological numbers are very, very important in the markets, okay? Now, you see when we open, I see that there was no gap up, there was no gap downs. It was a clean transition from the closing price to the opening price. And today was initially bullish on gold. It opened and it was blue, blue, blue. It came up and it stopped right there at 4,006. So that is our highest point of the day right there. So I'm going to draw a purple line to represent the high of the day. And then what I look at now is the high of the day, what is it relative to the previous bodies? I can see it's lower than yesterday. It's lower than here. We're still below this big bearish point of control. So that's telling me sellers are still in control, offering from the top, pushing it down. And now I see the highest point of the day. Sellers came in right away. They took out those initial buyers at the opening day and brought it down to the opening balance. And then sellers took over. This is a big black candle. That was black, black, black coming in. Excuse me. Let me just get a drink here. I tend to lose my voice when I'm talking a lot here. Hopefully my voice can keep up here, okay? And then you can see black, black, black. We came transacted in this green zone and it continued to push below the green zone and we took out yesterday's low. So yesterday's low is right there. You can place a yellow line, or what you could also do is maybe see how close the green box is. You can extend the green box to that low if you like. I'm not. I'm going to keep everything consistent the way I'm doing things. And then I see that they took out yesterday's low, and as we push down, look at now, sellers pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. This was a big black candle, and look at where it stopped. Right there at the body and the body, basically right at that opening day's balance of that candle. So I can keep this yellow if I want, but I'm going to make it purple because that's telling me that's the low of the day. And you look where it held up at the bodies. It could have just came down just a little bit more and tested these equal lows right here. But as someone will say, well, Ron, why didn't it do that? That's, again, the market makers did not allow it to continue to break. So that is technically today's lowest point It's a technical higher low from these equal lows. It's higher than this low. So you can see that the bottom is building a little bit of a depth of market, right? This is a higher low. This is a higher low. And now the buyers stepped back in and they're pushing this big black candle. That was big filled black candle. They're rejecting the move and pushing it back up to where we are right here. So we're almost right back into 50% of this green zone. This is where we are, how far we are off from the opening balance. So there is still selling volume, which can continue to offer and push this thing right back down. However, buyers are bringing it right back up right now. So that's the daily candle analysis. And one other thing that I look for is, could this be possibly a start of a second bottom? Look at this now, pattern recognition. The way how it came down right there, it stopped right there at the bodies of volume. I know there's wicks down there, but look at where the volume is right there. And then it came back up. And look at where it stopped, right at the red zone, like at those bodies. I know it went in there, but right there. And then we had the next leg coming all the way. Look at today, how it came down. That could have broke and we could have gone down lower, but they stopped it right there and it looks like it's coming back up. So you can see we're battling this bearish volume in today's daily candle. If the candle flips, if it flips today and then also works it tomorrow, if we flip, it's a short wick, we could definitely maybe drive back up to the red zone. And there's your double bottom, you know? And then technically, second leg might have a more powerful leg to break through here. Then we got to go through our rules. Will it be an impulse? Will it get rejected? Will it close above? Will we invert this zone? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So that's how it looks developing on a daily, right? So now I don't want to just sit on the daily right now. We got work to do. So what I'm going to do is now dissect today's daily candle like a surgeon, and we're going to bring it down into 4-hour bars now. So these are 4-hour candles, and there's a pattern recognition of a big 4-hour M top, double top at the all-time high supply. You also had the big structural shift of volume closing below this entire zone, and that's where it continued to push down. Buyers came in, a wick right there, a wick right there, a wick right there. They pushed it up, but you see where it failed to continue to go up, and 4-hour sellers came in and continued with a new lower low. Found a bottom right here, came back up, and there's a double bottom. There's a double bottom on the 4 hours where it came down, one bottom, neckline, second bottom, coming back up. Right there, technically, it should have broke right there. But you see, when it tapped right into exactly 50%, the sellers send it back down, okay? What is that? Sorry, just reading Ryan. Please close the chat, otherwise someone will talk smack and ruin your analysis. I don't care. I'm not even looking at the YouTube chat. You guys can talk all the shit you guys want. I don't even. I like to keep it on, but if you guys want to talk, I don't talk smack, talk shit. I don't care. I'm just analyzing what smack talk are you going to talk about. If you guys don't want the analysis, I don't give a shit. I'll do the analysis for myself, and then I'll just continue to trade. But this is to teach you guys how to do a top-down analysis, and I'm going through a daily, a 4-hour, hourly, a 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, and you pick your time frame that you want to trade. It's up to you guys. I really don't care at this point, okay? But I know that YouTube has people that really want to learn how to trade. So, again, I can't get caught up in the chat. I don't care specifically what you guys say in there. I don't give a shit. Anyways, see where I lose focus here. Yeah, you're right. Maybe we need to take these chats off. Or I don't even pay attention to the chat, okay? You guys can talk amongst yourselves. I'll do my own thing here. Now, look at the 4-hour candles, okay? So they were consolidating, they were building. Was there a bullish breakout? No. So this red block is holding up, okay? And it continued to push down. Where did we get the big push down? There's Europe right here. This is Europe, okay? So this blue candle, 2 to 6 a.m. It opened. It's got higher lows, still holding in this green zone. There was a 4-hour wick, 4-hour wick, 4-hour wick. But that's it. That's all we got was that European volume right in there, and then they pushed it right back down. Next candle, 6 to 10 a.m. But this represents pre New York, represents COMEX market open, and a little bit of Wall Street. It came back up. Look at even the 4-hour wicks are equal highs at this yellow line right here. Okay, so 4,000 psychological level. They're pushing down. Then there was a big massive candle on the 4 hour come down. That's what created low of the day. And look at it came back up and it closed below this daily zone. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to represent this zone by this 4 hour candle. Okay, remember I did this on the daily, right? Now I'm dissecting. So I see that there was a 4 hour bar that closed below the green zone. So when that happens, what I do is I continue to go through and make it a red zone, right? To respect this big bearish candle. And then I can see it continued, it opened and it pushed down. But look, it's got a higher low from the lowest point of the day. So the 4 hour candle is coming back up and look at where it's trading, right into 50%. That's where it just got rejected and it's holding a little bit of bullish volume. This candle has 2 hours and 20 minutes to go. I'm not going to sit here and watch this candle for 2 hours and 20 minutes. We've got things to do. We want to intraday scalp the markets. So right now, buyers are buying into a bearish 4 hour block right here. So this could continue where sellers are offering in here and pushing this thing down. However, buyers could continue to build in here and maybe continue to get it up. If we get a 4 hour candle, blue candle closing above this red zone, I'm going to flip it green. It will still represent a strong daily candle, but now I know that the 4 hour momentum is continuing to build to maybe continue to come back up. Okay, so what I need to do now is just look at the overall pattern of these 4 hour candles. Is there anything? I see it building. That's a higher low, higher lows. It's trending up, but it's trading in a tough zone right here. Okay, so now what we got to do is break this day 4 hour candle down to the hourly. Okay, look at now the hourly. Tells you a little bit of a different story now. Now I can see more clearly. 7 a.m. there was a bearish candle coming down. Here's COMEX, 8 a.m., 9 a.m. It opened, it was initially bullish, but look at even the hourly candles, lower high, lower high, lower high. They can't get volume above this yellow line. Sellers are there and they pushed it back down and closed it right there. Here's 9 a.m. It was just a briefly bullish for just a couple seconds. You can see the wick. So if you're an hourly trader, are you cutting hourly bodies in half? I do it with a white line, either the 4 hour or hourly. If I'm an hourly trader, see where it closed right there? I would have definitely figured out where 50% is. I would have even figured out the point of control of that volume and look at, have we transacted in here? No. That's a shallow pullback. That's a lower high. Sellers pushed it right back down. They took out that low, continued to take out that low. That's 1 a.m. low. They took out all of European volume and continue push it down. And I can see that that created the lowest point of the day right there at 9 a.m. It came back up. Now you can see we're building. Look at the volume. Even that spin top candle, the last hour, look, it was bullish, it came up, where into 50% of that bearish candle, got rejected, came back down, dropped, higher low, and look at where it closed. It closed virtually where all of these bodies are opening and closing. Is that by chance? I don't think so. Okay, look at how the candle closed virtually right where that. So it shows me they're grabbing liquidity down there. It's not breaking any new lows. So buyers on the 1 hour are building, but you see how they're struggling in this 4 hour red zone. So look at the next candle right now. We just started the call. This candle is closing in 18 minutes, hourly candle, 11 a.m. It opened bullish, ignited. Okay, it's bullish, bullish, bullish. It took out the previous high and look at how high it came up to, right up to this yellow line. That 3,975, and it's continuing to get pushed down. So we can watch in the next 18 minutes, will this hourly volume close again above 50% of this, or will it close below it? Okay. I know there's a lot of white lines on my chart and things like that, but now I really want to focus on maybe the last 3 hours of trading, 9 a.m., 10 a.m., and 11 a.m. Okay, so we can see we're coming right back up. This might be a morning star pattern. If you guys can recognize patterns, there's your bearish bar. Here's your morning star. It's kind of your indecision bar in the middle. And here's your bullish engulfing bar. So if this closes strong, this pattern right here, this 3-bar pattern, is representing your morning star. You got your bearish bar, there's your star, and then you got all we need to finish off this pattern is a nice big bullish engulfing candle. And if that's the situation, if it closes above here, it might have a high probability of continuing to push into this resistance. However, if it does close in there, it could pull back into 50% of this bullish bar, pull back slight, and then continue to go. Okay, so you guys gotta not just recognize your single bars, but your double bar patterns and your triple bar patterns. Okay, That's why price action tells you a good story. But if I look at this too, it's still hourly is right from here, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower high, lower high. So the sellers are still there pushing it down, but we're building off here, okay? So you can see gold is trying to come back up, but there's a lot of sellers still there selling. So off of the 1 hour, let's go into the 5 minutes. Now we can see 5-minute scalping, beautiful. Now I can look at 820. I can see Comex. You know, it's coming right back up. I can see Comex faked out the market up there at 815, and then they started dropping it down. Okay, you got to understand how engineering works too in the markets as well. Okay, and then there was the big drop. It continued 920, 925, 930, 935, 940, and then it found the lowest point of the day at 940, and then reversed back up. Look at the pullback right into here. Look at where it kind of pulled back into. Now you can see a little bit of structure. You got red wicks right there. A candle that closed above, stretched into the future. You can see how that turns into support. Grab the wick, continue to build. If I'm looking at 5-minute structure, look at the bodies of the 5-minute candles, okay? Not just the wicks, just like I was doing on the daily, the 4 hour, right there. You see how I got a body there, a body there, a body there, a body there. I see the wick came down, but it came down right into that location. So that zone is still holding on the 5 minutes, still protecting the lowest point of the day. It's making a higher low. The volume is still holding above this red line, continuing. Look at how it closed, 5-minute volume above the white line. White line represents hourly. That was hourly resistance. Now it turns to support. Look at the retest of it. Continue push up. There's my 5-minute resistance right here. So if I know it's a lot of lines on my chart, guys, but see when I have like a daily and an hourly, what I'll do is maybe I'll just get rid of this white line, the yellow line, and then just keep my hourly and then just focus on my cut lines. So you see how it came right back up. Resistance, they pushed it back down. Look at where it found support at the hourly. Resistance turned to support. It continued to come all the way back up. They created a new higher high. We are struggling right now at that daily point of interest, 50% of this block. Just going to get rid of this white line because there's too many lines and we'll just figure out what's going on. So this is the leg coming right back down. Now, is it going to come all the way back down to the white line? Will we be able to maybe possibly entertain a buy there, or is it going to continue to come down? If you want to draw a trend line, you can clearly see from the lowest point of the day coming up here, here, there is a little bit of a bullish trend coming from here to there to there. I'm going to kind of, connect this point to that wick. You got to connect a point from A to B, okay? So I'm going to connect it to that wick and continue with that, and you can see we are still ascending. We're still going up right now. Okay, we have not broke below this. If they close below here, they break the trend. It's under the red box. We might sell back down to that white line. If I look to sell that, scalp that move down, I'm measuring from here to that white line. That's 90 pips. 90. Normal days like this might be a 25, 30 pip move. With the volume in today's markets, that's a 90 pip sell just down to the white line. Right? If it can break that white line and come all the way down there, that's 180 pips. Like things can get really, really serious. But if you if it goes against you too, you could be down 90 pips. So you gotta understand there's a lot of volume in these markets as of late. Okay, so you see how we're kind of building back up. You can even connect the resistance tops like this. 1 point from body to body. So I've connected points. Right? I could also go, if I wanted to go from that wick, connect it to the first connection right there, A to B, whether you want the body to body or the wick to wick. That's your decision. That's your choice, right? I'll just continue like that. So you see we're in a little wedge that it was coming back up and they could push this thing back down. So if you look at this entire process as one leg coming down, this could be the next leg coming back up, right? We found our resistance now, that daily point of interest, and they could push it back down. Could it come all the way back down for a double bottom? Possibly. Could it come all the way down here for another higher low? Could it come to the red line? Yes. Could it come down to the white line and continue to go back up? Absolutely. Could it just hang around now and just trade inside here and continue to move up? Absolutely. So right now, let's just watch what's going on right here, okay? Now I'm going to add my daily bar indicator beside me to kind of just give me a heads up of how we opened. right up there, opening price, our highest point. So they pushed it all the way down. Now I know that this leg that came all the way down, that representing our lowest point. So this move coming right back up is representing the wick on our daily candle coming right back up, but we still have this big bearish body that could technically offer and push this move coming down. Okay, so this candle is going to close in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay, I'm going to add a 9 EMA. Some of you guys use these. I don't really use indicators like this, but we're right at the 9 EMA, possibly maybe go below it, and the 200 EMA is above us right here. So we have a big red zone. We've got a 200 EMA. We're at below the 9 EMA. We've got a bearish daily candle, so the trend is bearish. We would look to be maybe continuing to sell at premium areas, or watch break of structure and look for confirmations. Okay, and if we're buying, we're going against the overall trend of the daily, but we could be going with this short-term trend where it came up, back down, higher low, new higher high, came back down, higher low, come back up, new higher high, now it could come back down. If you look at this as a wave pattern, okay, so this could be wave 1, the pullback is wave 2, there's wave 3, pullback is wave 4, there's wave 5. That completes the Elliott wave theory, A, B, C, D, E, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this could now start the next leg coming down, like leg 1 coming down, it could come back in, and then go back down, and then you could see how they could bring the market right back down, right? If you follow waves, if you follow those type of things, okay? Do you guys have any questions about what I just did? I'll get to NASDAQ and US30 in a moment, but let's just watch this. Go into noon. Since we did this analysis, let's watch this volume. So even now, the 5-minute candles, you see that 5-minute big bearish candle? You see the cut line? Previous, like right here, was resistance. Now or resistance, and it's still resistance. Okay, so if the buyers come back in, they could be, you know, transacting, cut it in half. Okay, now we're pushing down. This is an impulse candle breaking down right below this red zone. You can see it just opened and starting to drop. That bearish candle did not close below the red zone yet. Okay, it came right there, closed, it opened, they quickly rejected it. So that's an impulse move coming down. You can trade impulse. Okay, there's no law or rules against trade, but impulse candles technically fake us out from time to time. So if you kind of take a sell and then it might come down and then catch a wick and go back up and then finally retest this. Okay, so you either got to go with intuition, the way how the market is moving, or just wait it out. Okay, yes, you might miss out from time to time on an impulse move coming down, but if you continue with that, the odds are stacked against you. The best thing to do is wait for confirmations. You're not going to become a perfect trader. You're not going to become a millionaire just because you're waiting for candles to close and you're looking for retests. Those also don't work as well. But trading is a game of probabilities. It's a game of risk management. Okay, so if you're using proper risk, you know when to utilize maybe a feeler trade or go all in. It's up to you what you want to do, okay? I'm going to wait for this bar to close and see where it closes. So right now we got this leg pushing down. Let's see if the buyers can bring it back in. Let's test, 50%. So you see that was a technical fake out. See how it just dropped? It created the lower low, and then it's coming right back in, okay? So that is an impulse break, okay? Maybe it might not close. Maybe it might come down and close below. But do you understand what I'm saying? If you just jump in, now you're in drawdown. Right? I don't play the game with the woulda, shoulda, coulda happened. Okay? You got to make up your mind. Are you going to trade the candle when it opens, or are you going to wait? And you decide. This is a 5-minute candle, so I still got to wait 2 more minutes and 45 seconds. If I'm trading 3-minute candles, I could jump to the 3-minute candle. See how the 3-minute candle closed below? This 3-minute candle opened bullish ignited and coming up, and it's testing the point of control of that previous 3-minute candle. I'm not a 3-minute trader. It's called a hybrid candle. It's in between a 1-minute and a 5-minute. 3-minute is a nice little hybrid. It's not as volatile. Maybe I know some traders fall in love with 3-minute candles. You could go to 2-minute candle. You could scalp 1-minute candles, okay? See that 1-minute candle? And then look how open, bullish, ignited, continue to push back up. So even the 1-minute candles might have some momentum to come back up, okay? So they are building, right? But if we're sitting here watching the 5-minute candle, we still have 2 more minutes to watch this thing close. Reese, we have a Discord sell at 65. Okay, so 65 is just, again, right below here. So let's watch it, Reese. So we got a Discord signal sell for gold under 65. So that's what we can watch for. 65 is just below this red zone. And then also, when you're not in a trade, you're following the volume. See, I see today a lot of traders are distracted. They're looking at their TikToks while a candle is still trading. I don't give a shit about social media and things like that. I'm not looking at like another screen. I'm following this candle. It opened, it came down. It just came up. It made a high and it's coming back down. Where will it close? Is it going to be a spin top? Is it going to be a coin toss? Is the last 30 seconds, is the seller's going to push it down, close it right near the low? Because that might start the momentum of the next bar opening ignited. Then I could sell that candle. Like, you really got to follow the volume. I'm very attention to detail. Yeah, shout outs to TikTok. Okay. So, you know, if you're a TikTok fan and all of that, it's all good. But what I'm trying to say is a lot of people are distracted. They're looking at their phone. They're texting their friends while a candle is building. I'm not that guy. I'm a guy watching right into the close. Like, I even zoom in, you know, like I zoom right in to see what is exactly going on. I'm very nosy, so I want to see what's going on. I want to see exactly what's going on. So here's the last 20 seconds. It's like in a basketball game, like a shot clock. The last 24 seconds, who has momentum going into the close? Let's not talk about the Dallas Cowboys last night. They literally shit the bed. You can't beat Arizona with Kyle Murray not even playing. Dallas just deserves to just, I don't know. I might just be a closet Buffalo Bills fan this year and just, I've had enough with Dallas, okay? Guys, look, it's a bullish spin top. It's basically coin flip, the way how it closed. Did it close below this red zone? Remember, the size of the red zone was specifically made for a reason. So technically it didn't. Now this is another impulse candle trying to push back down. Again, you can enter if you like on this. But again, I'm going to say you are entering again on an impulse candle. No black volume has closed below this red zone as of yet. So you see how it came down? It produced a higher low. The 5-minute candle could come right back up and it testing 50% in here. It could engulf, come all the way back in. Okay. So yeah, and also good, Tony, waiting for the 1 hour close. Absolutely. See? So me as a 5-minute trader, I'm still also understanding that the hourly candle is going to open in 4 minutes. So maybe we got to hold off on just taking a trade right now, because lots of momentum, it could be coming in the next hour. We could see this, see how they're holding it. They're not like really breaking it down. So this could start another bullish leg coming up at noon. However, if they continue to push this down, we could get a noon continue pushing down. Okay. But now what I'm watching is the buyers are now transacting back into 50% of that bearish candle. Will it close engulfed above here? Will it get a wick here and they push it right back down? Okay, so you see, this is remember what I was saying, a morning star pattern on the daily? This is technically how you can learn. Here's a 5-minute morning star pattern. Okay, the same thing I was talking about like on the daily. There's your bearish candle, there's your star in the middle, and here's your bullish bar coming right back up. But in order to complete this pattern, to be technical morning star, you have to have a bullish engulfed bar engulfing that previous bearish candle. Okay, you can see how literally it's building on the 5 minutes. So if you see the same pattern on a 4 hour, on a daily, that could give you the signal to look for swing buys for the next couple days, right? So that's how it looks on the 5 minutes. That's why when you learn price action, they all have the same characteristics. So this could be a 5-minute morning star pattern setup. If you recognize this on a 4 hour, it might be getting you ready for a possible swing buy in the next couple days, right? Does that analysis help, guys? Okay. I want to know if you guys know what, like, kind of what I'm talking about here, okay? Because I know what I'm talking about. I do this stuff every single day for the past 20 years, okay? So I'm not basically like learning this. I know this stuff, but I want you guys to learn this stuff, okay? And you can see, guys, if we went in on an impulse sell, we're caught right now. We're in drawdown, okay? And I know a lot of sellers got caught down there selling, thinking it's going to continue to push down. So that's why, guys, patience goes a long way in the trading, okay? Yes, you're going to miss out on some impulse trades here and there, but over time, if you wait and you follow what's going on, you pick up on clues, believe me, you'll make some more profitable trades that way. I know it takes more time, and a lot of us are very impatient and we don't have time, but believe me, as a trader, you have to learn patience. This is the game that you got to allocate a certain amount of time and not rush things. I know someone says to me, I only have 1 hour to trade because I got to go to work, I got to do this, I got to do that. But then that's you're putting too much pressure on yourself. You're coming in an hour and you're forcing trades. Even if there's not a good high quality setup, you're still taking it because you only have 1 hour trade. Then I can probably tell you're not going to be successful at trading. You really got to let the trade come to you. Let it develop properly. And when you're taking the trade, you're taking it with confidence. You're taking it, oh, I saw that. I did this. I saw that. Everything is lining up. Check mark, check mark, check mark. That's where you look for good probable setups. And then the only other thing is when you're taking that trade, you're not guaranteed to make money off that trade. You still got to use proper risk management, right? I take A+ setups every single day and they hit my stop loss. And I'm left scratching my head. Well, it met every single requirement. Why did I get stopped out? The markets are not always going to move just because we recognize a setup or a pattern. We still got to use proper risk management. I still know in the back of my head is if I still take an A+ setup and I get stopped out, I'm not blowing up my account. I know how much risk I'm willing to take in that trade. And if I get stopped out, it's not the end of the world. I can still recover from that and look for another patient setup, right? Okay, so technically, did that bar close above these bodies? Technically, it didn't. Look, there's the wick, and it just closed right at that. Now it opened bullish ignited, okay? So you see the cut line? The cut line is still representing 50% of this bullish candle. So I got to give the buyers a little bit of the momentum, but not 100%. They did not close above those bodies. So you see now at noon how it opened up, equal highs, and the sellers are there pushing it right back down. Okay, so we're caught in a little bit of a consolidated phase here. So they could come all the way back down and test the bullish point of control of this bullish previous candle, and your 9 EMA is right there too. Okay, so if it comes all the way down, will it catch a wick right here and go back up? See now how it's coming right back down? Or will this come down with hourly momentum and come all the way down and maybe like engulf and then start to break down? So you can see we're caught in a little bit of a consolidated phase right here. I will highlight it, okay? So this is where we got buyers and sellers right now fighting it out. There was the sellers pushing it down. No sellers closed it below there. Buyers brought it right back up, and right now they failed to close above there. So this is technically another lower high where sellers are pushing it right back down, okay? So this is where we're getting a little bit of a battle between buyers and sellers right now, okay? We've got ourselves in a little flag. So do you just take this candle right away and trade it? No. Maybe we wait to see will buyers close above here, or we see will sellers maybe push it back down bearish below here, and then technically start that next leg coming down, okay? If you want to test out a buy or sell, you're welcome to, but all I'm saying is I wouldn't be going big sizing. I would be going like a feeler trade. If you're testing out a buy, go small, test it out. If it comes back down and you get stopped out, it's not the end of the world. You can close it out, maybe sell with the pressure. If you're testing out a sell, I wouldn't go all in right now. I would test it out because if it does come down, it could get a higher low and come right back up and then tag your stop loss up here. If I'm just waiting, I'm waiting. You don't not necessarily have to take a trade. Reese, can you look at the 1 hour candle as it got a top wick in a 1 hour? Yep. Let's look at the. Okay, so let's just recap what happened on the 1 hour since it closed. So remember, it opened very strong, came up right up to that previous right there, 3975. They rejected it back down. It did technically close above the previous high. So we got volume closing above the previous hourly high. And this candle just opened. And remember, just a slight brief drawdown, and it came right back up. So this hourly volume has to continue to backfill that big wick to get up to create a new higher high. So it's got about 50 points from now, 70 to 75, to continue to fill. So in this meantime, sellers could come in and produce a lower high and push this volume back down. Okay, so right now it is still strong, still building, but we're in this big red zone in here still. So we got to give the benefit of the doubt to the sellers. But right now in the 5 minutes, it's still moving this higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This, in fact, is new higher low, but now when it comes up, is it going to create that new higher high, or is it going to be kind of like a double top up here, where then it's getting dropped? And this is a better selling premium area at 3975 because we're selling at a daily point of interest. If we just sell down here, we're just selling like on a 5-minute structure, right? So higher time frame holds more weight. I would be looking to sell up here if it better positioning. I'm selling at a premium and selling where the bigger sellers are, selling at more 50% of that bigger red zone. But I could also watch to see if sellers right here will push this thing right back down right now in the 5 minutes, okay? So you see, again, that was an impulse breakout bullish, and then they're pushing it right back down with 1 minute to go into the close. So we're seeing a lot of impulse moves. This time of the day, it's known for kind of fake outs. I'll stick with gold just for a little bit more. Then we'll do NASDAQ. And then we'll look at both of those securities. I'll do NASDAQ today instead of US30 because NASDAQ has so much going on with earnings. And then we can see how NASDAQ is moving, okay? So let's just continue to follow this. Is anyone in a trade, okay? Whether you're in a buy or sell, someone's going to be buying and someone's going to be selling. Welcome to the world of trading, okay? Everyone has different bias and analysis. All we got to do is, whether you're buying or selling, is just manage your own risk, okay? You guys are in a sell right now. See, some of you guys are buying, some of you guys are selling. It's a zero-sum game. When you lose, someone wins. When you win, someone loses. Markets are ruthless like that, okay? So that's why you got to kind of try and be on the winning side when you're trading. I know it sucks to say, but you're taking from someone else. But, you know, that's what they say. Markets reward the patient because the impatient give all the patient their money, right? I didn't say it. Warren Buffett said it. BTC is melting. Yeah. No faith in crypto right now with everything, all this uncertainty going around in the world right now. Okay, so this candle did close above. Okay, so this is a retest candle now. Okay, so when it came down, look, it opened and it didn't even take out that small wick. Now it's a bearish engulfing candle. So now it's coming down. Could this be a fake out up there? This is a fake out candle. Or will it pick up a wick and come back in? Okay, so now we can see there's structure up here. Now you got a big bearish candle coming down now, back into the zone. Will they take out that low? Will it continue to close below here? Then you can see that maybe was a short-term pullback and we're continuing to sell down. Okay, so you see that? Now, when that body closed above, but when it came down, did it catch a wick right there? No. That's where I was looking to see if it would catch a wick, where this resistance turned to support. You can see how strong that selling pressure is. Excuse me. So if it gets back down, remember, we're looking for an SST signal to sell below 65. Now we see it coming down. It could just come down impulsively again and break down there. So do we want to wait for a candle to close, or are we just going in with this momentum? And you see how maybe they faked out the noon candle, that hourly 12 p.m. They faked it out, and now they're dropping it back down. Okay. And it still technically is a lower high from here. So sellers are still there. And that was a nice buy. If you bought those bars, beautiful. It's a nice buy. Like from there to there, it's 50, 60 pips. You know, you're counter trading. You got to have some counter trade rules as well. But you could have been up 40, 50 pips, took your stop loss break even, scaled out a little bit. But right now, if you didn't do anything, you're watching a big bearish engulfing bar coming down. Okay, so this is the big battle area, this 65 area. I'm going to ask you guys, we got 2 more minutes to go, 2 more minutes and 20 seconds. Do you think this bearish bar is going to close below here, or it's going to catch a wick and go back up? And we're still in this consolidated neutral zone still with a fake out. You think it's going to go back up, Mo? Wow. Okay, Mo. Let's see, bro. This is a heavy, heavy selling candle. Going to close in 1 minute, 50 seconds. Now it's pushing down. So is this going to be the first bar that closed below? And if it just closes like this right there, first thing I'm doing is cutting 50%. It's probably going to be that. Next thing is it's probably going to open up bullish because there's buyers down here waiting to buy a discounted pullback. But when it comes in, maybe we look for the rejection and we sell down with this momentum. Okay. But also if it closes right near the low, it could open ignited bearish and just start dropping, right? So you got to be ready. Okay. So far it's really breaking down bearish. Okay. But now we need confirmation because we came down here, it went back up, came down, went back up. It could come down again and go right back in. So let's see if the volume can close below this area. We haven't had a bearish candle close below here since all the way down here, since 1045. And that caused that big, nice bullish move. Now we're retracing right back down. Okay. So here's the close in less than 50 seconds. And it also created a new low. So we got to create new lows to continue to push down. Okay, that's a nice big move. Okay, if you're in that candle, it's absolutely amazing. Justin, this is a shift of structure, correct? Market structure shift, shift of structure, break of, whatever you guys say. Okay, you don't have to have the lingo, right? Everyone says it different. Okay, but just understand, it's a big bar coming down, could close below all of this supporting area. Here's now we go, 15 seconds to go into the close. So get ready, okay? I'm already going to maybe do it, anticipate. Open, close. There's 50%. You see the cut line. I could find the bearish point of control of this big bar right there. You know, I'm kind of doing this prior to it even closing. Look where it closed. Okay, there's a little bit of a wick. Did it open bullish? Is it going to come up and retest right here or that point of control? If you're looking to sell, can you hold off a little bit? There's the blue volume coming in. Will they reject it quickly? It's one of these doji candles that can be tricky to trade. So here it comes back up. Let's see. Retest would be exactly 39.65. Here it is. Let's see. Will it get a wick in this area? Will it come all the way in and test that point of control of that big bearish candle? Will they hold it down right now? Okay, so see how the buyers are coming in on discount. They're buying the pullback. But now it's coming in for the retest. Okay, we have a confirmed candle that closed below. So now we need a retest to confirm that sellers are now have shifted the zone to offers. There's the wick. So if this kind of candle breaks, short wicks, they could continue to push this thing down. Okay, so it's coming back down. Will it come all the way, revisit the opening balance of this candle? See, when it came down, it's refueling back up bullish. So maybe it wants to, see, push that high wick and continue to retest. It still hasn't technically retested yet. There's the actual, now it's trading inside here. Now this is where, let's see if it collects a wick and pushes down in here, okay? Because there's the bigger wick, okay? I'm going to sell now. I'm going to sell with this wick, okay? I'm going to sell. I know I'm going in early, but I saw it already retest and push down. So all it needs to do is continue to come down, take out the opening balance and start to drop. Okay, so I'm in a sell. My stop loss now, I could go right above that red zone. It's a tight stop loss. You can see it's just above the red zone. I could go above all the way up there. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it kind of at the red zone. If we can break this wick, we could trickle down. And then where could we go into? Are we going to come all the way down into that white line, that supporting area? We got to look to the left of the chart too. Okay, because there's a bullish candle right there. If we cut that bullish one in half, because that was an important bullish candle right here. That's the one that closed above this structure that started that long leg up. So I guarantee you that's a good point of interest inside, if we come in there, that could catch a wick right at that red line. And look at the number, 3960, psychological area, okay? Guys, I'm talking fast because the markets are moving fast. But if it drops down there, it could be about approximately 40 pips. That's when maybe we want to reduce risk, okay? So far it came down. It dropped. I didn't take out profit, okay? It dropped 25 pips from entry, and I didn't do anything yet, okay? So I'm in a sell. Tight stop loss is just above that bearish point of control of that candle. I can increase my stop loss if I like to be a little higher, but I feel like that's good enough, right? So let's see if that now noon volume can continue to push down with us. Okay, but you see how the retest worked, okay? So now we got 2 more minutes. So it broke for that lower low as it came down. Buyers are coming back in. But that's why we need more offers to come in from a higher time frame, more sellers, because there's always going to be buyers, right? There's always going to be buyers coming in, buying dips, but they could be buying into offers, and offers could continue to push the market down. Okay, and then we got a bearish a bearish pin bar candle coming down. Okay, so can we close near the low? Can we get one more bearish bar? Again, it could come back up blue, but maybe we could build a little bit of structure, maybe another lower high and continue to push down. Okay, so the signal, SST signal was 65, it's dropping now down to 60, 61, so you could be up 50 pips right now. But let's see, let's follow this volume, okay? Beautiful shooting star candle. Second most bearish candle next to the bearish engulfing is a shooting star. But you see, buyers are coming right back up. We're playing around with that opening balance. So is it going to close blue? It's going to close back black. Is it going to close right at the opening balance? Is the last 30 seconds right now, is a big seller going to come in and push it down? Or is a big buyer going to come in and close it back up here? Okay, so this is what we got to watch for going into the close. So it's bullish. That was my entry point right there. 39.64 and 50 cents. Okay, so here's the close. Okay, so it closed with a little bit of bullish volume. Okay, so the next candle opened bullish ignited. We know those are strong opening bars. Right away open bullish ignited. So it wants to continue to fill up that previous wick, but then maybe it could trade back into that bearish point of control there. So it's a bullish ignited open. If we can reject this quickly with another lower high, sellers could offer down and then take out that opening balance and continue pushing it down. But this candle can continue to refuel itself as it comes down. That's what bullish ignited bars are, okay? So we got to see if we can continue to get selling offers coming from above us and more sellers to bid down, to trade down at 3963, 3962 and get it back down, okay? So we got a rejection. It is technically a lower high from the previous high. And it's actually retested the actual zone and there's the push down. So we have a big order of offers. See how we broke the opening bullish ignited open, created the wick. So we took out those early open buyers. And then as it's coming down, more buyers are coming in. So we need this now higher time frame selling pressure to maybe continue to fill down to this wick so we can get down to this red line and maybe break down further. Okay. And then if it drops down to that red line, again, could be 35 to 40 pips in profit. That's when maybe you want to reduce your risk in the trade. And then if it continues break down, you can see 50 pips. Target white line is 80 pips down there. That's more of an hourly area. Okay. So you see the rejection, lower high, shooting star candle pushing down. All we got to do is continue to bid down in here. And all these buyers have their stop losses down here. So we got to target, remember what I said. We win when someone loses. When I lose, someone wins. Okay, so there we did. We just came right down. Now I don't want to see tweezer bottom lows. There it is. Equal bottom lows, exactly. Okay, so that is a turning point in structure. When those equal bottom lows, see the sellers, they did not create a new low in the market as of yet. So when it came down, those are equal lows. They did not break down. So you see how it comes right back up. I hate seeing either equal lows when I'm selling, and I hate seeing equal highs, tweezer top highs when I'm buying, because it places a pause in momentum. And this is where sometimes it switches and comes back up. Okay, so we really have to watch right there. 3961.81. You see how they held the market from breaking down? It's very technical, guys. It's very, 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 very technical. So then when it comes back up, we get more offers on a higher time frame. Then it comes back down to test to break that equal low. Again, it's holding, it's stalling, and then more buyers are coming. So we really got to break it down now with that volume now. See how the volume is now coming down? So this could technically be the 15-minute volume to break. Here's a nice 15-minute bar with a retest. So we just got to break that and come down. And then what I would do on it as a 15-minute trader, you can find the 15-minute point of control, that bullish candle, and then this red line would be just a little lower down in there. If we look at the hourly, we're trading this big hourly bearish candle. Like I'm in a sell on this thing, but we're trading in that hourly bullish point of control here. So they're holding it right there. Fuck. Right there, those equal low wicks. Man, if we can just break this. Oh, we just need some sellers to just bid down in here. Get the bids heavy down in here. Okay, but regardless, that's 30 pips down to that wick if it comes back down there, okay? I haven't reduced my risk as of yet, okay? I will really want to break this red line in order to bring my stop loss, reduce it, or to a break even. Okay, I'm still exposed. I can lose, right? Okay, so there we came down. Again, did that break that line? Yes, there we go. We got it, okay? So that boom, that's a good fill. Down to there's 40 pips, guys. You could start to reduce risk if you like. Okay, get in the habit. And then if we can close with volume below those tweezer equal lows, that would build momentarily support, might be resistance on the next candle that kicks back and retest this. So you see we came down, coming right back up. So it's still holding, okay? But when this candle closes, if we get this nice bearish volume, we're going to cut this bar in half. I'm going to continue to see if we can move down with this momentum, guys, okay? Please manage your accounts accordingly, guys, okay? And watch where it closes. Here's 10 seconds. Get ready. Okay, I'm going to bring cut lines down. Here's the close. 2, 1, close. 50% is right there. Okay, so we close below that red line. Okay, that's good. But we open bullish. There's always going to be buyers buying dips. So if we can quickly reject this, we could continue to fill that wick and break down for those 40 plus pips. But if we have to come back up bullish, we still can test 50% of that bearish candle. Okay, still see it's got a lower high. We got this doji candle. If we can just bid this volume down quickly, then we're going to break that wick and maybe push down further. Okay, as soon as we break this line, that's when technically I'm going to a break even. Then I know I'm up 40 pips psychologically, and I know I have a good breathing room. Maybe I should be at a stop loss right now, but I'm not, okay? This might come back and hurt me, but I'm continuing to go with the higher time frame volume, okay? There's the rejection, pushing down. Now all we got to do is, again, fill the wick, break that line, and drop. And then I'm looking to drop down into body-to-body structure of these 5-minute candles right there, and then that would be a 50-plus pip trade. You can take out kind of 80% if you like down there, if it gets down there, but I'm more worried about risk management as long as you guys are getting to a break even. Everyone takes out profit at different areas. That's not my job to tell you when to take out profit. My job is to, right now, go to a break even. Okay, so I'm at a break even coming down. That's it. There it is. That's 47 pips down there. Okay, break even. I have zero risk in the trade. Emotionally, psychologically, mentally, I'm taking out 80%. I'm taking out 80% right there at 39.60. The SST signal was spot on at 3965, dropping down with volume and confirmed candles. That's how shit gets done as a scalper, okay? And right there, 50 pips. That's what I trade for. So some of you guys might be looking for 100, 200. That's not my style. I look for right now 50 pips. When it broke that line, break even. How much drawdown did we realize? Nothing. No, actually, I entered right there. No, I can't say that. Nothing. I got it right there. I encountered 7 pips of drawdown to make 50 pips. There's your 1 to 1 to 6, 1 to 7 risk to reward. You know, it's not a 1-to-1 trade, right? That was all unrealized. I didn't suffer any dramatic drawdown. Did I explain that properly, guys? So I have 20% running. I took out 80% and I'm happy, okay? You got to have that mindset. Yes, it could go down further, but that's why I have a runner, because this thing could easily come right back up and then I just piss away 50 pips. Look how it came right back down, body to body, right at that red line where I told you. And look at now how it's reversing. Could come but right back up bullish, right? So a scalper, you got to be in and out, in and out. I'm not looking for a swing position. I'm not looking for gold to drop down the entire day today. Look at what happens. Look at, guys, watch. I'm going to get now my break even, possibly tagged, but I only have 20%. So if they want it, they can have it. But the 80% of the trade I took out down there at the lowest point, right? It doesn't get any better than that. I don't know how else to break down live scalping. If that doesn't deserve a like on YouTube, guys, I don't know what else to do here. I don't even know if YouTube is awake here. Are you guys, no comments, guys? Are you guys pissed off that we missed a couple days? Are you guys mad at Ankarani? Still love. Come on, guys, show some love. If you guys need the streams, you guys got it. You guys are in control of YouTube. You guys got to like, comment, share the channel, subscribe. You guys are in control of this. We're not in control. We go with your momentum. If you continue to subscribe, like what we do, we're here for you guys. If you guys are not engaged, what's the point of being here? We got our private group we got to cater to. Okay, we come on here to show you guys love, right? But kind of respect it back, guys. It's not easy what we do here. It's very stressful, especially scalping gold at 12 p.m. Eastern. It's not the best time to be doing this. Okay, but number one now, the trade. Are you at a break even? Let's all talk here, guys. Do you still have your stop loss exposed, or are you at a break even? Okay, that's rules of risk management. We're having the risk management boot camp this weekend. That's going to be one of the rules. Is reducing your risk. We don't just talk about this shit to talk every day. We really mean this, guys. Do you guys understand what it means to protect your capital in trading? Because if the market just comes right up there, that's it. You actually lose money. You get stopped out with a stop loss. The point of trading is to build your account. Okay, so when you go in profit, you pocket that money and continue compounding your account. Because look at how it's going to come up. And if I don't have my break even, it could break right through here and go hit my stop loss. So I want to reduce risk. I know that if they stop me out, it's fine. But it's only 20%. That's why I take out the bulk of the trade. Okay, I'm a scalper. So I get the bulk of the trade down there. I want my money out. Swing traders might be different, right? But if this was still a 4-hour candle and it dropped down, if this was a 4-hour setup, this was a 4-hour candle, you entered 8 hours, 12 hours, and it came all the way down there, instead of 50 pips, that could have been 500 pip drop, let's say. And if you don't do anything, look how it could have came right back up at the next 4-hour candle and possibly tagged you out, okay? So you've got to have the same principle for whatever style trader you are. If you're still watching this now, which we are, I'm still invested in this. That doesn't mean I'm not watching it anymore. I see it came up, lower high, close right there. Again, it opened up bullish, came up. There's tweezer top highs. They couldn't create a new higher high, and now it's pushing back down. We're flagging right now. This is where you can identify a flag, where you can see the bodies of volume right there, right there. This might be a bear flag continuing to push down, right? There's where bearish volume, bullish volume. Bearish volume has a high probability of continuing to go to the low side. But you need that closing black volume to close below there so that this will build into another block in the market and continue to shift to the downside. Because right now you got the buyers and sellers fighting right here, okay? Also, guys, if you sold NASDAQ, again, you can follow the signals and trade ideas. Right here, we're looking for sells below 25,073. There was the body that closed. It came back up, came back up. Did it retest? You got the rejection. Very similar. Okay. At least you have a confirmed candle that closed below. It came back up. You could have sold, stop loss above there, above, and there's your move coming down. Okay, that's a beautiful move on NASDAQ on the 15-minute candles for a sell of approximately 125 pips. Maybe you hit a daily goal with that sell on NASDAQ. Gold as well. What we're watching here, that I broke it down the 65 area, dropping all the way down to 60, 50 pips. Okay, so guys, sometimes when you're trading with us and we're live and we get signals, I'll break down the signals for you guys, right? And shout outs to Dave, guys. Give Dave big shout outs because he's the one behind the scenes handling the majority of the signals and doing this. So shout outs to Big Dave. And he also did a live session with the snipers in the morning. So guys, we're workhorses. We're not show horses here at SST. We're workhorses, okay? Our results speak for what we do here and our work, our dedication to you guys to learn. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, right? So it's not just about being a show horse. We're workhorses. You guys got this whole group, guys. We don't sleep here. Dave doesn't sleep. I don't sleep. Some of the snipers, I see them in the Discord 24 hours a day. They don't sleep. We got bags under our eyes because we're making bags in the markets. Okay, I'll have bags under my eyes all day if I'm collecting bags in the markets. Okay, that's a grinder. That's a hustler. No excuses. Now look at it. So 20% is still running. Beautiful. Learn from it too. You learn from your runners. There's your equal top highs. Remember what I said? If I'm a buyer, see, the buyers equal highs. They could not create a new higher high. The depth of market is affected by that big time. Look at it. And there's your bear flag continuing to come down and fill to the downside. Guys, this white line is a big hourly line. If it comes down there, that's about 80 pips. And then you're coming down to an hourly area. If you look at your hourly candle, 12 noon, look at how they fucking reversed the market. Look at it. Came up bullish. Someone in the YouTube chat said 12 noon is coming. You see, guys, why you got to wait? And you see how quickly it just opened up blue, lower high, and boom, they're slamming it down. That's the market shift at the hourly. It always happens. Sometimes when you're a buy-in, you're in a sell. Okay, so if it comes down there at the white line, I'll verbally tell you guys I'm going to close my entire trade, the 20% remaining. Someone will say, well, around 20%, it's not a lot. It's still money in my pocket. It's still profit, but I want to stick to trading my rules, right? So if it can come down there, I will be closing my entire 20% and I will be out of this trade. If it goes down further, fantastic. I'm trading from one area to a higher time frame hourly area. Okay. So look at now, again, cleanup time. Okay. We got to tidy up the charts. Can we represent 50% of that candle? Where is it? I sometimes you just got to cut things in half. Get to know how to use your cut line. There's the open balance, close balance. There, I just cut it in half. See where now the body of volume is coming in? Again, at this area. There's where it closed. There's where it opened. Okay, so you see where the support area is? Right here at 39.59. Lots of support coming back up. So now we're testing 50%, the point of control of that big bearish candle. Can we continue to get a lower high wick and push this volume down? Will it transact back in that bearish zone? See the wick? Guys, right at 50%. I don't make this shit up. Okay? This is live, guys. Right? We're not back testing now. Now you got to be fast at doing this. You got to know exactly what you're looking for. Okay. So when it came down, again, you got to understand the opening balance was strong. So it refueled itself to come right back up. And did it take out that high and go higher? So far, the sellers are there still offering after that candle refueled itself. It came down again. Buyers are, asking to trade back up here. So it is still a very bullish candle building, but we still have some sellers interested to push this thing down. If we can flip this candle, look how short the wick is. It could flip and, continue to come down. But this is where it's building. So it's building at this location right here. Why? Because the hourly support is trying not to break. So we got 5-minute higher depth of market building so that it doesn't come down to this white line. Okay? So you got to understand how markets work, right? Each time frame has its own objective of what it's trying to do. And that's it. Like, this could be the end of this selling leg, because now it could be coming back up, next leg back up, right? Guys, awesome. Okay, So do you guys want me to do NASDAQ? Do you guys mind if I move off of gold? I have on my mobile, I have everything. So I have an automatic break even placed in the market, and I have an automatic TP at that white line if it goes down there. So the worst case scenario, if I go off the chart, I'm either going to get 20% break even, or I'm going to get the full 20% profit down there. But if you guys want, I can continue to break this down. Because now we're starting to look 12:30 now. A new 30-minute candle opens the market, and you can see how kind of the momentum is kind of shifting back up. Yeah, I want to do NASDAQ, guys, if you guys don't mind. We'll watch the close of this candle, 2 more minutes, okay? It's a big bullish candle, okay? Will it engulf? Will it come all the way back up? If it closes back above this red zone, this will be a green zone, and it could shift, it could show that buyers will start to push the market back up, take out my break even, and start to trade back into this area back up here in that consolidated zone, right? The rule of the game today when you trade mid-afternoon is pip and dip. Get your pips and dip out of this market. Pip and dip. Guys, there's something wrong with my OBS. It's showing that we only have 183 viewers. If that is right, let me just double check. Then I know that this is a shitty time in the markets. I don't know. Well, 225 on YouTube? Okay. Yeah, there's something wrong with my OBS. I don't know. Sometimes the mic goes out, sometimes the viewers. Oh, 218. Okay, awesome, guys. Okay. So, is there anything more I need to clarify about that trade? Okay. Someone's going to say to me, I know. There's always those people in the chat will say, well, it came up and it hit my break even. Okay. I understand that. Believe me, I do. I know how that works. But then just my 20% is tagged at break even. I'll verbally let you guys know because I got a little different, I use different broker here. Okay, they tagged me out right there. Okay, so recap. Took the sell, it moved down. When it broke that line, 40 pips in profit, I took my stop loss, and my stop loss was just right above this block. I didn't go all the way up here. I was just right above this point of control. And you see it didn't get tagged. As it broke down there, 40 pips of profit, I took my stop loss, went to break even. When it moved down there, right down to that location, I took out 80% on that wick. Sorry, on that bearish candle coming down. Took out 80%. And there's my break even. Okay, so that trade is now done. When I journal that, I write that as a W. I write what time of the day I took the trade, what security it was, why my bias was to continue to sell with the market. Remember this wave pattern that I showed you? Remember when we started this? It was a 1 or a... Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top of the move. And then kind of when it kind of came down, there's the next move coming down. There's where it came up. That's where we took the sell down to there. Now it's coming, look, right back above there. It might continue to trickle down, right? And then I was telling you guys, I'm more leaning towards sell side. Why? Because we had the big drop. This looked like kind of staircases coming up. Then the drop. We went with the daily bias. And this is a bigger red zone up here, right? And then I told you guys that big clue candle. There was the big fake out right there. Remember why I have this defined up here with this, what is it called? Eclipse or ellipse? What do they call this shit? Ellipse. So this circle right here, this ellipse, that's why I told you that. Fake out at noon. And then they brought it right back down. So you see again, look how they kind of came right back up. Again, it tagged right in there, and those sellers are selling at a premium area at the 3965, where Dave said, you know, where we got that sell signal set up there. That's where the bigger sellers are. And look at the big bearish candle coming right back down. So unfortunately, I got tagged out at my break even. this is another learning lesson for someone, because I get tagged out a lot of break evens, and then I watch the trade go right into profit. So if you want to give it maybe 5 pips of breathing room, yes, if you lose, it's 5 pips, but it's different from a break even. I do the break even more for you guys on YouTube. It helps me mentally, knowing that you guys have no risk. But if you guys have been following me on YouTube, I get hit a lot of my break evens, and then the trade continue to go right into profit. Okay. So if that's a pattern that happens with you, then just maybe give it just a little bit more breathing room. 5 pips, not 50, not 500, maybe 5. I know if you get stopped out, it's not a break even, but you lose 5 pips. But hopefully you gained on the way down, so it doesn't, you're still in profit, okay? Another thing that you got to factor into with trading Forex is break evens do cost you, because there is commissions involved. If you trade gold, there's commissions. So it's not really a break even. You still got to get, I pay $4.50 for a standard lot size when I trade gold. If I trade US30 or NASDAQ, there's no commissions. That's why sometimes I prefer trading indices as a scalper, because I don't like paying broker commission. But right now, with the momentum and volume of gold is like a scalper's paradise right now. Okay. So you see, we're continuing coming back down. This is the next area that we got to close with volume below and continue to go down. Okay. Reese, do I write it on paper? I used to write it on paper, my journaling, everything. Then I went to Excel. But Reese, it's all mental. I make notes in my head. I told you guys, I'm like a computer. I know, you can ask me 2 weeks ago what trade I took, and I can tell you exactly the time, date, what happened. I memorize these things. I don't know why I do that. I'm different than some people, but I know exactly, because I'm very focused when I trade. I'm watching every single candle. So you can tell me a trade I took last Thursday, I can tell you exactly what happened without even looking at the journal, okay? I don't recommend that, but when you're taking good quality setups, you'll remember the trades, okay? I don't remember too many of the winning trades. Remember, guys, I don't remember, a lot of us don't remember our good profitable trades. The losers are the ones that stick out, and so those are the ones we got to learn lessons from, okay? I know we should be cheering on all of our profitable trades, but again, profitable ones are just boom, boom, boom. It's the ones that sting are the losses. Those are the ones that I remember every single day, but you got to learn from them, okay? Guys, we could stick with this, continue to stick with this. Again, we can tidy up the charts now. We can see that the volume has kind of opened up, but if you kind of trap the volume, now look at where we're trading. We're trading in this quadrant right here. Like right here, it's consolidating. Remember this quadrant right here, where it was bearish, bullish, fake out, bearish, and then we close below and we continue. Now it's bearish, bullish, bearish. So we're in this quadrant. Are they going to redistribute this volume back down to the downside? And when they do, to the white line, and look at this big bullish candle, fair value gap right there. Oh my God. You got to be able to see this shit. Right here, opening price, closing price, 50%. Is right there. There's your 0.5. Notice how it's at those bodies, those wicks. Your point of control of that big bullish candle is right there. And that's where the sellers are targeting maybe to drive into, because they want to sell where the bigger buyers are. Okay, so you can stretch that into the future, and you could be targeting a sell to continue to drive into that zone right there. So if it breaks this hourly support drop, there's that gap right in there of that big bullish candle that closed above all of that structure. If you're a fair value trader, then you see that wick and that wick. See the green zone? I did it with the Fibonacci, but if you do it this style, okay, that first pullback was right there. You see we haven't came back in there, and that wick. It could be this entire zone. I go with the Fibonacci. I go with the Fib, okay? So now we just got to continue. See, when it comes down, we're not breaking those lows. You need that bearish volume to close below here now, because we might get an impulse sell. If you're in a sell, it benefits you, but we need a closure. Like, what if new sellers want to come in the market right now? They don't want to trade this on an impulse. They're waiting for a bearish candle to close below here, and they might be looking to sell at this bearish zone up here, okay? So you got to remember, this is still an impulse move coming down here, okay? And it's not working. Buyers are stepping back in, just like it kind of did here with this. So you see, when you learn something, you'll continue to learn and learn. And then you're going to see the same shit over and over and over. So you should know what's going on now at this lower half of this, where we're trading right now. Okay? Did you guys get taken out with me on that break even? Or is anyone still holding? I know some of you guys are a little bit more... you leave a little bit of a breathing room on a stop loss. You're not as tight as me. I'm tight for education purposes, guys. You got to understand, we are not financial advisors, so we actually care for you guys. And I know some of you guys are crazy gamblers, so I'm thinking of the gamblers. You know, I still love you guys. I know what it's like to gamble. I used to be a gambler myself, but it gets you nowhere in trading, guys. Gets you nowhere in life. Gambling will not get you anywhere. It's that false dream that they give you, okay? Discipline, patience, best way, okay? Christoph, you got stopped out, but follow rules and made decent profit. Perfect. Now, like, how do you feel, Christoph? I know how I feel after a trade. When I take a profit, then only my 20% gets hit at break even. I'm not pissed off. I still understand that I did something good. I took out. And so you got to now, like, look at your emotions, your psychology, your mentality. How are you? Are you ready to take the next trade and you're confident? Like, some traders get really pissed off that they get hit at the break even, but that's why you got to finish off the job by taking out some profit, okay? That's the way it works, guys, because you can see right now we're barcoding, coming down, back up, coming down, back up. So again, if I just jumped in the markets and we said, hey guys, good afternoon, let's get started trading, I would say, guys, this is in a shitty area. There's nothing to look at. But sellers are selling, buyers are buying. Sellers are selling, buyers are buying. Eventually, gold is gonna, maybe make its way back through there, okay? Or sellers are gonna continue to close it below here, and we're making our way back down to that green box, okay? I'll leave those arrows. We're gonna go to NASDAQ now, and I'll leave those arrows, and we'll see which direction it moves, okay? And we might still be just consolidating in here when we come back, okay? That's why I extend all zones into the future, right? We still have the big bearish candle above us. Look at it, still coming down, coming down. So they could continue to offer to buyers. I know this is short term, 5 minutes, but they could continue to, even if it comes up here, it's still lower high, it could push this thing right back down, okay? You see, this block hasn't been transacted, right? So, it could come like roaring right back into that block, and boom, that's where they sell it down, okay? Remember, we have not tested that block above us, has not been transacted in, okay? So I'll come back to this. Let's do NASDAQ, okay? Quickly, we'll do NASDAQ. I trust that you guys can continue to analyze this. Guys, please, on YouTube, we have over 200 viewers. Hit the like button, subscribe to this channel. Let's get to 87,500, psychological number, right? We're only 55 subs away. Let's do NASDAQ now. Okay, NASDAQ is very interesting, okay? Lots of shit going on with NASDAQ. I told you guys, even in the earnings today. After hours, we have AMD, Supermicro, SMCI. We got big earnings last week, big tech earnings. All of the big names reported last week, okay? So let's start off top-down analysis on the daily. This is the time now we catch our breath, we breathe. We're moving on to another security now, okay? So I know someone is going to say in the chat, Ron, look at gold, gold's doing this, gold's doing that, okay? We're done with gold for now. Now we got to shift focus. This is where you got to be focused as a trader. When you're shifting to another security, you got to now stop focusing about gold. You got to now be one with NASDAQ now. What is this security? It's an index. This is not a commodity. What's the type of volatility? How does NASDAQ trade compared to what we were just trading gold? What is this index? What is it comprised of? All of these questions, okay? And it's got the same type of candles, what we just watched as well, okay? But this is a different security, so you got to know how to trade this. This security comes with different risk management. This security has different volatility as well. This security trades different at certain times of the day as well, okay? So it's all part of your job as a trader to know how to understand this stuff, right? You know, when you're driving a car, when you're driving to work, in the morning there's traffic, and then if you wait 20 minutes later, there's less traffic, right? You know this just by experience by driving your car. So you learn from experience when you're trading this security. You'll know times of the day when there's high volatility, times of the day when there's low volatility, times of the day when this shit is trading sideways, times of the day when this is really trending nicely. Okay, it's just like driving a car. You know, you're gonna get to know what I'm using an analogy when it's got traffic, when it's got less traffic. Okay, but now on the daily. Okay, so let's just go back. Okay, because we're almost wrapping up this year. So look at December of 2024, right there was a previous all-time high, came in there, and there's the red zone, stretch it into the future. We came back in February of this year and they dropped it down. All of this shit with Donald Trump, Liberation Day, tariffs were announced, April, market really pushed down, but look at how quickly it recovered, okay? So it was stretched that into the future. We've closed above in mid-June, in the summertime, so it did close above. So that red zone is now green. If we ever get a pullback buy of NASDAQ at 22,000, I'm backing up truck, okay? I'll be buying a lot if it comes down there. We're nowhere near that point, okay? But if it comes down there, right into there, I'm telling you guys, Ron will be buying, okay? I don't give a shit, but I'll be loading up. So we're not there, okay? So let's start again. Top down, how we did gold, right? I just want you guys to understand that zone, because now we're coming into almost December of this year, and you can see how far away we've moved away from that zone, diverged away. Okay, so did we hit an all-time high? Yes. When? Right there. Orange line, all-time high. Guys, I'm losing my voice. I'm gonna need ginger tea right after this. Okay, there's my all-time high. I can tell October 30th. Right before Halloween, the spooky day, okay? So 26,300, 26,293, whatever, is the all-time high. Do we have a zone? See a wick, and then I got two bodies, okay? Right there, same shit how I did gold. There's my red zone. Stretch it into the future, right? What if we come back in here later this December, maybe this month, maybe February of next year, my birthday, right? So see how now we are coming up and we're moving down. What if it comes back up for that double top all-time high supply, and there's your M ready to sell the market? We have to acknowledge it. It's not there, but we still have to recognize it, okay? Are we all good, guys? Okay, so we've now established that. Stretch it into the future. I said go to my birthday. My birthday is Groundhog's Day. I'm going to be 44 years old. Holy shit. Guys, enjoy every day of your life, because when you get older, oh man, 44. I wish I was 20 again. Knowing what I know now, if I was 20 again, oh my God. That's why I'm teaching my son and my daughter, 14 and 9 years old. I'm teaching them, learn this shit, guys. Teach our kids this. Don't teach them the money aspect. Teach them playing this video game of this blue team and this black team. Bullish and bears. Bulls and bears. Okay? Don't teach them anything about money. Just like playing Roblox. Same shit. They're playing a game here. Teach them that. Instead of playing Fortnite all day, they can learn this game. Some parents are going to say I'm crazy. That's fine. Okay? I teach finance in my house. In my household. That's my parenting, okay? I want them to know. I went to university. I worked in a bank. They did not teach me any of this. They didn't teach me any just typical daily financial rules. They didn't teach me how to pay down a mortgage. They didn't teach me how to invest. They didn't teach me how to trade, right? This is all self-taught, guys. So if you're learning this, you're learning a self-taught education, and I'm very fucking proud of you guys. This is not easy, okay? Because we're not just trading candlesticks. Remember what I said. You got to be a risk management. You got to be an account manager. You got to know how to control your emotions. You can't get pissed off. You might have a shitty day, and how do you recover from that? Trading goes a long way, guys. It's not easy, okay? So if you guys are doing well at this, take a day off and just know where you're at, okay? Take a day off. Humble yourself down. Just understand what you're doing is not easy. 95% of the public can't do what we're doing, okay? If you have I had a conversation with my family over the weekend. A lot of them have no idea even what I do. I've been doing this for over 20 years. My sisters still don't even know what the hell I do. Like, they have no idea, guys. Like, I don't know why it's a secret trading the financial markets, because it's got that stigma that everyone loses their money, and it is in fact true. It is in fact true. 90% of traders do lose their money. Why? Because they over leverage, they gamble, they're impatient, they have no idea what they're doing. Okay, so you guys are different. We're learning together. Okay, so rejection. Are those equal highs on the daily? Yes, they are. So it's kind of exactly like what we're talking about on the 5 minutes, right? You know, when those buyers were coming in, they could not break that, and you see the results. Just like when we were scalping on the 5 minutes, it's the same shit. I'm just not a daily trader, guys. I can't sit and wait for 24 hours for a daily candle close. I do swing trade, but it doesn't make good entertainment for YouTube. So we're on here for 2-3 hours. We want to get some analysis. We want to look for trades and have some fun. So we got to go to the lower time frames. But believe me, if you have all the time in the world, you do your analysis for the week, you watch your daily candles, more specifically your 4-hour candles, take a trade and hold it for multiple days, right? If you were selling here, you've hit weekly goals, right? And then you use trailing stop loss, all of those principles that we teach you here, okay? So there's equal highs, pushing down. Now there's right here, body to body, point of interest. Is gold going? What's gold doing? Up, there goes gold, okay? So there it is. Remember now, so this is an impulse breaking candle. If you're in it, right? If you're sold from premium area, you are benefiting from this. But look at it coming all the way down. This might be the first bar that's going to close in 90 seconds below this zone. If it comes into this zone, remember what I told you guys, that is a very, very important structural zone. If it sells right in there, that's where the buyers could be, right? So when you're selling the bag, you want to sell and realize your profit where the buyers are. You want to exchange the bag. It's like making a virtual handshake. You're transacting. You sold here, you're giving it to them. You sold high, you got to buy your position back at a lower price. That's how you realize your profit. Buyers, they want to buy low and sell it back to you up here at a high point. That's how trading works, guys. But if it comes in that zone, holy shit. Too bad I'm not still in this, but where do we take the candle? Right here. That is literally a 100 pip move from when we took it. But guys, Dave, let's see with the signal, guys. Remember the signal if you guys are still following the signal. But there it is, breaking down into that candle right there. That's the one I'm talking about right there, guys. That body right there. Okay. So it looks like sellers are winning. You guys just want to hang on 15 more seconds for this candle to close. I'll just continue. And then look, this will be the cut zone. This zone will represent 50% of this volume. This is how like shit works like this. Here's the close. 50% is right there. So if it comes back up bullish, it's testing 50%. It opened bearish ignited. So they want to push this thing down to take out that low wick. But right there, like if you don't believe me that that's 50%, open, close. 50% is right there. There's the red line at that zone. See why structure is so important? I can find the bearish point of control of that last candle. There it is. So even if it comes back up, you still got to go through this zone before you can even come up to that zone. And look, it opened bearish ignited. So the buyers didn't even have a chance to even come up. So they're pushing it down to target that low and drive it into this green zone. And then if you want to continue to sell, maybe you wait for it to come and test in here. You could be selling in there. Okay. Holy shit, guys. Man, I just got tagged out on that 20% by a tick. Fuck. And then this is that, guys, ABC wave patterns. Okay. We haven't really taught Elliott wave or wave patterns, but it's very basic. A, B, C, D, E. E is the top. If you want to count numbers, if you don't want to do letters, some of you guys like numbers or letters. I don't give a shit what you like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some of you guys like structure. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Now you've got the next wave coming down, right? Doesn't always work like this, but when you know what you're looking for, there's the wave down, 1. come back up 2, lower high, come back down 3, come back up, lower high 4, and now they're redistributing the wave 5 down to this green zone, right? There's, if you don't like numbers, A, B, C, D, E, okay? If you want structure, lower high, sorry, this is a higher low, lower high, lower low, lower high, and the new lower low right in there. Are we in a trade? Yes. SST signals, we're in a trade. Myself, we were in a trade, but some of you guys might be in it. Okay, so now it transacted right in that zone. That's 100 points right into that target, guys. Okay, and then you treat the zone. If it closes below there, you flip that green zone red. You might have more further bleeding to go. And this all started at noon on this fake out candle right there, that fake out. Guys, patience, discipline pays off, okay? So please, if you can review this live stream and learn from this, and you may see this pattern present itself more visually. If you look now on the bigger, remember this wedge, okay? This is breaking it down. But if you look on the bigger, there's the big drop. There's A, wave coming down, coming back up. B, right into the daily point of control, 3975. Fuck, guys, it doesn't get any more clear than this. And then there's the next leg coming down, right? But is it gonna come all the way down and take out that? That's a bigger time frame. Maybe it just stops right there, higher low. Maybe it comes a little deeper down into there. But you can see right there that it could physically try to come back up and break this and come through there, okay? But there's so much context, there's so much bias going on right now. That's a nice little wedge, rising wedge, and it's dropping, okay? And if you're still going down, you're still selling with the big bearish daily candle. If you're buying, you're counter trading. These were really nice buys from the lowest point of the day at 940, but it stalled right there when we started the call, 11:15, and started pushing down, okay? Guys, I would love to talk about gold all day here, but let's just finish up NASDAQ, okay? Because it's 1 p.m. right now. Okay, so we're on the daily on NASDAQ. Sorry, guys. So just all-time high supply zone stretched into the future. Now, we've got points of interest, right? Was there this big bullish candle? Yes, there was. Can we identify some structure on that candle? Opening balance, closing balance. Let me figure out where 50% of this big bullish candle is. Right here. So I can see we're trading below it. See the yellow line to represent daily point of interest. Was this a big bullish candle? Yes. So that was a big daily bullish point of control on this day, on Monday, October 27. And it opens a week. Monday opens weeks. Those are very important daily candles. Stretching it into the future. Look at, guys, we are transacting right through that zone today. If you're watching NASDAQ in the next 4 hours, will it close below this zone? Will you be able to invert that red going into tomorrow? Will it come back up with a wick going into earnings with AMD and SMCI and come back up? But that is a bullish zone from this stretching into the future. And I can see we just broke below it impulsively and we got the volume right at it. Okay, so stretch it into the future. That's where we're trading into right now. Just like how gold traded into that 5-minute block, what I just showed you right over here. There it is. You see what I mean, guys? See how it came down right in there, the bottom of the block, come right back up, retest it, and now we're moving bullish. I'm telling you guys, sellers are selling where the buyers are buying it, and it's coming right back up. This could have been an easy scalp buy. Like if you understand these zones, like, and you're not too greedy, and you're just looking for 20 to 30 pips. Like, even if you waited for this bar to close and come down and just bought right there, you're up 20 pips. Guys, I normally scalp for sometimes 10 pips, okay, on the 1-minute candles. That is a, look, it came right in there. And you guys are seeing, I did this ahead of time. Told you guys how these zones play out, okay? This is how it's playing out on the 5 minutes, but I'm showing you right here on the daily, the same shit, okay? Now, if we continue to break down, there's a body to body where that ignited Monday started, just like we just saw on gold right there. You have to have this point of interest. If you don't, I don't know what you guys are looking at. That was a bullish day to start a week. How can you not identify that area? Okay, so I have, right? And now if it continues to come there, that might be support to get a wick to come back up. Now, let's continue to look what's above us. We're working our way down. Rejected, rejected. There was a close. There was an open. Right there. We have to have a yellow line right there. okay? And then now, can I figure out 50% of today's big bearish candle coming down? I can, but let's see yesterday how we were trading. Big bullish open Monday to open up the week. Strong, bullish, 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 equal top highs, and they rejected it back down, right down there. So where did we close and where did we open today? Look at it. Look at today's candle. It is a bearish ignited candle. If this was a 5-minute setup, there's your bear, bull, bear, drop. I love selling this point right there. There's your bearish flag. Like, how else can I show this to you guys? Remember, this is on daily. This could be 5 minutes, same shit. Okay, look how it opened, ignited, and just buyers weren't even present at the opening price to even push it up. Sellers right away came in and engulfed yesterday's volume and broke it down. Okay, so you see how it's coming down. Now, our opening price is in fact the highest point of the day. That's the purple line, and you can still 26,006,007. Okay, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down. We took this out, pushing down. Did we take out this wick and this wick? Any one of these wicks acknowledge a point of interest, because this might be ongoing resistance if we come back. Yellow line, this is where you can now determine whether you want to place it at this wick right here on Friday, or you want to place it on the previous day right there Thursday, or if you just want to go right in the half. In between there, in between there. Okay, that's what I'm doing. Just for argument's sake. Someone will say, Ron, place it there. Someone will say, Ron, place it there. How about I just place it right in the middle to keep everyone happy and we don't have everyone going crazy here. So put it right there. Now, continue to follow this, follow this, follow this. We're transacting in that bullish zone. They broke it. We have a wick on our daily candle already. That's the lowest point of the day so far on NASDAQ. Purple line, and it could come back up and trade inside here, but this is a heavy selling candle. Less than 4 hours, watch where this body closes. If it closes below here, I would be making this green zone red going into tomorrow, because it could come in there, reject, and boom, continue to sell off tomorrow. Okay, so, and then look at now the pattern. You see it came up, coming down. So we're going to figure where the neckline is. Is it going to be here or maybe down in here? Then buyers are bringing it right back up into that red zone, and it could get rejected and continue selling off this week. Okay, so that's why NASDAQ is real interesting. Okay, but it could also come right back up right through here, but we got to go through blocks of the market. That's why I love trading in blocks, because then I know exactly what's going on at that particular time in the day or whatever I'm trading. Okay, so that's a big bearish engulfing candle coming down. Do I want to sit on this all day? Let's go to the 4 hour. Let's see what's going on the 4 hour. Okay, look at the 4 hour. We've got the move come up, come back down, came back up, lower high, push back down. It couldn't break that low, so it came up with this leg right there. They pinned it. There it is. Tweezer top highs. They pinned it Monday 6 a.m. That's an important time. Monday pre-New York and Wall Street. And since then, lower highs. When did we get this big bearish engulfing 4 hour candle? Monday to start the day. There it is. It's a Maribuzo candle. I'm not Japanese. Man, those Japanese Dodgers, they killed us in baseball. Nakamoto and Otani destroyed us. But I understand Japanese candlesticks. Maybe I could have a conversation with Otani and teach him how to trade. He's a gambler. Otani loves gambling. He loves gambling, and he's got $700 million to trade. So, Otani, if you're out there, we would love to be your financial advisor. Just for education and entertainment. But look at this. Bearish ignited candle closing at the lowest point. It doesn't get any more crazier than that. Look at this. And then we just opened up. Again, I could be following this 4 hour candle. I could be cutting it in half. I could be finding the point of control of that 4 hour candle. I could be doing the same shit that I do on every single bar. And if you did, 50% is right there. I'm not doing the bearish point of control because I don't have too much time. But there it closed. It opened bullish, came up, shallow pullback, lower high. Did not even transact in there. Sellers come down. No wick. That's the firecracker. There's the pop and there's the drop. And it continued to backfill this wick and this 4 hour wick. Continue to come down. Where did it stop? Look at where it got. Right there. Where did it get the wick? At 50%, right at that yellow line. Came back up and closed right there. Next one. This is Europe now. 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. It opened bullish. It came up, lower high. Came all the way down through this green zone and made the lowest point of the day and came right back up. Here is now pre-New York, 6 a.m. Right here. This is representing pre-New York. pre-market earnings, a little bit of Wall Street. Okay, it opened. And look at where it came down, bearish, bearish, bearish. It didn't break that, higher low, came back up. Big bullish volume, came all the way. And look at it, closed right near the high into 50% of that. Guys, I don't make this shit up. Grab your fib tool from the opening candle to the closing candle right there. Look at 50%. It is literally the yellow line right there, okay? So it closed above it. Look how they faked out the market again at 10 a.m. today. Look, closed. Look how tiny the wick is. So it popped, and look, it just drove just a tiny bit. Squeeze those traders. This is 10 a.m. now. This 4-hour candle is closing in 52 minutes, and it's a big bearish engulfing candle attacking the lowest point of the day. So it came up, they faked out those buyers, and they engulfed them. Bearish engulfing. Took out all of that blue volume, come down, they fill these wicks. Look at, we have equal bottom lows now at the lowest point. So if it breaks, it could drop all the way down to this yellow line, 390. If it continues, I got to dissect down here, okay? But look at it's clean traffic to fall all the way down. This purple line to the yellow line, look, I just have this big bullish candle and those top highs right there. So what I could do is just draw a white line right there. Guys, follow what I'm doing. See the wick, and then I just have this bullish imbalance right there. It's just a clean bullish move coming right through there. This could be also a bearish move, just come right back down, same way. And then where will it find support? Look, there's the flag right there. 4-hour bullish volume, 4-hour bearish volume, it broke out bullish. There's that 3-bar play and broke out of there. So make that a green zone, stretch it into the future. There it is. Guys, if that 4-hour volume comes in there, that's where I guarantee you a lot of these sellers are waiting to close out their long sells in this zone. Why? Because that's where buyers are waiting to buy this move from the all-time high. That's a big sell. Could be coming down and then maybe making its way back up. Okay. So that would definitely, I would be watching this zone. I would place an alert at that white line. I'm placing an alert there. So watch what will happen when it comes down there. Okay. So far, the 4-hour, okay, came up, lower lows, came back up, lower highs, tweezer top highs, new lower low, came back up, lower high, and big bearish candle coming right back down. This is on the 4-hour. You can watch this literally for the next 50 minutes. But if we want to go into the hourly, here's the hourly now. So we can see the hourly leg coming down, pushing down, all the way down. You can see a kind of consolidation on the hourly, came down, double bottom, big push up at 9 a.m. Wall Street today. Where did it come into? 50% of that hourly candle right there. And they pushed it right back down. This hourly candle is closing in 50 minutes. So you can see, have we had like an hourly candle close below this green zone? Not yet. If we get one, this entire green zone will flip back to red. And then if you're buying in here, you got to know that you're buying into sellers. And if you're buying, you're counter buying into supply. So, you know, you got to have your counter trading rules. Because right now it's going lower low, lower high, maybe a new lower low, trade into this big green box right here. Okay. So it's still pushing down. Okay. Now, if we go into the 5 minutes, how many of you guys were trading Wall Street this morning? There it is, 9:30. They dropped it down. Okay. Did they take out the lowest point of the day? No. They came right back up. Big return all the way right back up. See kind of where we hit the highest point of the day up there. All of that shit volume. Okay. You could have trapped all that garbage right there. You didn't need to trade that. You could wait patiently, let the market accumulate. What time is this? 10 a.m. right to 11. 1 hour, right? And then they closed it below and had that sell coming down. So look at now. It's pushing down. That's a zone, right? It's a red zone. Make that a red zone on the 5 minutes into the future. And it's right at that daily yellow line. Manipulate daily yellow line right at the middle, okay? So you know what's happening. Now, what's the trend? The trend is clearly pushing down from there to there to there, showing descending, right? This is a descending triangle. Right now, the lowest point of the day. Have we had any 5-minute volume close below this purple line? No. Look, I'm going to the left of the chart. Look at oh, fuck. Look right here. What is this? What is this? Tell me, what is this? Anyone know what this is? That's your imbalance. That was Sunday night open, 6 p.m., right? Or sorry, 6 p.m., where they opened, yeah, imbalance, Ronan, you got it. Look at it, just right through there, okay? So let's cut this big bullish candle in half. Why don't we find the point of control of this candle? Okay, this is a really important fuck you candle is what I call it, okay? You have no control about this if you're in a trade. Like, what happens you were selling on Friday and you're holding and they do this to you? Your account is goodbye, okay? Where's 50% of this? 0.5 is right there, okay? I'm going to make this a neutral zone so we can pay attention to it. 382 and right there. I'm going to make it just neutral, okay? Neutral. I'm going to extend it to the right. How do I do that? Let's see. Ron smoked a joint. Let's see if I can remember to do this. Extend to the right there, okay? So I've extended it all the way. Now let's follow this. Let's see relative to how close we are to trading back into this block, okay? Where is it? It's right here. See it? This right there. There's the top of it, 533. There's the middle of it, 505. And there's the bottom of it, 475, okay? Those are all psychological numbers. So if you trade and you're selling in there, that's where those big patient buyers who missed out on that huge move on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and now they're positioning themselves to buy a patient pullback right in there. So, and if you're selling, right, this is just the 5 minutes, but I'm talking about there's sellers over here, back here on Monday, that have been selling from 26,150. Okay, they probably want to realize some profit. That would be a perfect area to start closing some trade in there, okay? And if you're looking for buys, that might be an opportunity to buy. But when you're buying, you also have to know that you could be buying into a supply zone, okay? And then you got to take it again. Will it come in there, go back up? Will it do this? Will it do that, okay? And then if it closes above there, you flip that block and it could continue to go bullish, okay? But that's where you're trading into. Look at, you can go backwards. See that big, huge imbalance. Has it been transacted into? No. Came very close at the purple lines, but has not came in there, okay? So NASDAQ is pushing down, right? If I'm looking to maybe buy, like let's say it comes right back up, what I'm looking for is, will the buyers step in and maybe close it above 25,580? What I'm looking for is, can they at least close it out of this trend line, break that trend, close it above 5 minute resistance. Like let's say it closes right there, maybe it pulls back and retest. Maybe I buy that to take it to fill these wicks and get it right back up to that yellow line. Then when it gets to the yellow line, I do my shit. I go from a stop loss to break even. I scale out 80% because it could come right back up there and boom, sellers slam it right back down, okay? But that's an opportunity to watch for maybe a possible buy. But what I'm also looking for is, what are they going to do at this lowest point of the day? Are they going to sweep this liquidity, drive into here, then come back up? That might strengthen a buy opportunity, okay? So we could be watching NASDAQ now, okay? But you see now how these 5 minute candles have closed below this zone. If we look on the 1H, so we still have this 1 hour candle that's impulsively coming down, going to close in 45 minutes. So notice I'm not making my zone red yet until I get a higher time frame. Till I get an hourly candle close below here, then I'll change this entire green zone to showcase that the sellers are in control. I could do it on the 5 minutes because I do have a 5 minute candle that's closed below there, but 5 minute is not as strong as the hourly. So maybe I'm just going to continue to watch this thing because it could come in this green zone and continue to build up. I could be looking for buys in there, right? Okay, so let's add our daily bar indicator just to let us know. Holy shit, what the fuck is this candle? Look at, this is our daily candle. Bearish ignited, pushing down, pushing down, pushing down at the lowest point. So if we're buying, we're literally buying the lowest point against all of that selling. So if you don't know that we're counter trading, I don't know how else to visually show you that, okay? So if you don't want to buy, be a seller today. Sell in this red block right up here. You could sell at this yellow line right here. There was 5 minute sellers that sold right there, and look at the results. Results speak for themselves. They sold right there, pushed down. Came in there again, they sold, pushed down. So this, you could sell again in there. If you're buying, you got to acknowledge that there's sellers there, okay? They can flip that, that's a different story, okay? But we're descending triangle, lowest point of the day, heavy bearish candle, 9 EMA, we're below the 9, 200 EMA, we're below the 200, okay? So that's NASDAQ. I'll flip back and forth. Let's look at gold. Gold, hey, did you guys do, okay, so it came in, back up. What did it retest? White line, push down. It did in fact close below that block, okay? Did you guys invert that block green to red? Look at it. Still, sellers are really strong. And look at buyers bought right in, rejected right there and pushing back down. Holy shit. Like, guys, it all started right here. at 12 p.m. Fake out. Started this whole move. If you're looking at the hourly, look at the hourly. It's this whole bearish engulfing candle. Remember, we took that. Look at it. If you're still following the hourly, it engulfed that entire blue bar, and look at what it retested. The hourly, that used to be support, volume closed below, there's resistance, and they're continuing to push this thing down. Now, if you're looking, where could it go down to? See how I have targeted this wick, that area. That was that area. That could be protecting the lowest point of the day, but hourly is still pushing down, guys. Wow. Not bad volume for this time of the day. It's not too bad. Okay, so what do you guys want me to leave it on? Do you guys want me to, because I don't have it on a split screen, I have it on separate charts so we can zoom in. Do you guys want it on gold or NASDAQ? What do you guys want to watch? You guys let me know. If not, I can flip-flop. It's up to you guys. I get these scam texts, like I maybe 3 per day. Someone is just texting me with a number I have no idea, and it still says, "Are you looking for work? Do you still need work? I got work for you." I should text them back and say, "I got work for you. Learn how to trade and stop scamming people." Sorry guys, I don't want to repeat the message I just wrote back to them. It's restricted. You guys got kids in the room. I don't want to repeat the words that I just said to them. But I have fun with these scammers. You guys want it on gold? No problem. Okay. But if you're watching NASDAQ, keep an eye on what's going on at the lowest point of the day. Let's look at gold. Okay. So gold, guys, it's still bearish. Okay. So you see that big bullish leg? If you bought that, things don't go up forever, right? Look at how easily things can come down. Okay. That's why if you were in buys, beautiful buys, realize some profit, and don't be scared to take some money out, because markets can shift momentum and come right back down. Okay, if you go with the overall higher time frame, it's bullish. Okay guys, I need to clean up my chart. Okay, so just let me tidy up here. So for example, me, I'm out of the trade now. Do I want to sell now at the lowest point? What do you think? Do you think that's a good idea, just to sell down here? Remember, we sold up here. Why would I want to sell down here now? Okay, because look at this cluster of volume. That's where it was. It came bullish, bearish, and started that. So this zone, let's just consolidate that zone right there. That's where the volume was accumulating. Then it went to the upside. And now, stretch into the future, you see we're trading right back in there. Okay, so it's probably not a good idea to sell now, the lowest point, because buyers could be coming in. This could maybe start to move its way back up. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of a few things here. Just use some cut lines, clean things up. Okay. Oh, is that it, Sergio? Maybe that's why, because I write back to them and I tell them, and that's why they keep messaging me. That's okay. I got it. See, I'm not good with scammers and shit like that. I call them out. My kids love it, especially when they call in. I put them on speakerphone. Oh my god. I act like an immigrant. I put my immigrant voice on for them too. I'm Albanian, so I got a little bit immigrant voice. I broken English. It pisses them off. I play a reverse Uno with them. They're Indians calling from India or here in Canada, but they say that their name is Mark. And their accent is so heavy. I'm like, come on, your name is not Mark. I know your name is like Pradeep or something like that. I know. Guys, I got Indian friends. They laugh too. So I put on a little bit reverse Uno with an immigrant voice too. And then they get frustrated and they hang up on me. Shit's funny, guys. I'll do it live next time with you guys. Okay, so what is our bias now? Okay, we have fun and games, but what's our bias? Are we looking now for potential buys, or are we looking for potential sells to continue? If we're looking for continuation sells, it's probably not best to just continue selling lows, right? We want to maybe sell at higher areas of premium discounts. This would be a great area. This would be a fantastic area. This red line would be a great area. This red block would be a good area, as opposed to just selling the lowest points. Now maybe we got to respect that buyers could be coming in, okay? And then we could maybe see that this could be creating, if you look at it like this, where it came down, okay, that's a V-shaped recovery, but right here, where it came back up, there's the big neckline, we're coming back down. This could, in fact, be like a double bottom starting to you know, push back up. But it might not push all the way through here. It might just come right up to here, and the sellers might push it right back down. Then we got to look for another bottom, right? So you got to take it with what leg are you looking at? Like, that's the thing. Someone is looking at a 4-hour leg. I'm not looking at a 4-hour leg. I'm looking at just these 5-minute candles. That's where our bias might be completely different from each other, okay? So you got to understand what you're looking at, right? You got to compare apples with apples. I can't compare a 4-hour bias with a 5-minute bias. It just doesn't make sense. I know some 4-hour traders are saying run sell, and then maybe on the 5 minutes, it could be just a little scalp buy, right? How do you utilize Bookmap? Good question. Bookmap is a depth of market, level 2 analysis, not just Bookmap. There's Quant Tower, there's NYTrading, but it will highlight where it's like a heat map. So it will literally show you where the blocks are in the market. You know how I determine, how I do it with TradingView and just looking at price action? You don't need to do it like I do. You can just open up Bookmap and it will show you there's the big red block, maybe right here in the market, and then you'll see when it transacts in there, you look at the delta. Is the delta negative or positive? Is there more sellers than there is buyers in there? That can kind of give you a bias as to complement your trading on your charts too. Okay, it's great, guys. If you know how to use the depth of market, it's an added addition. Okay, look at it as an investment and can take your price action a little further. Now you can see where you're not just looking at a candlestick like a black candle or blue candle, but you can actually see at each level the bids and ask at each price tag, right? You can see it. You know, when we took the sell, like right here at below, you know, 39.65. Maybe it would have shown that there was a big block in the market if we were looking at Bookmap. Maybe as it transacted in there when it came in for that retest, remember we waited for the retest before we took a sell, we could see maybe like a big red bubble in there. And that shows to me that there was more offers and they kind of engulfed those buyers. And then it continued. Then the depth of market below could have showed buyers pulling their orders there, because remember, everything is a pending order until it's aggressively transacted, right? So everything is pending, and then what we could have seen if we were using Bookmap on this breakdown was there was buyers here and buyers here. Maybe they started to pull their buys and start to relocate them lower because they want a discounted price. Then when we see that, and then we see more offers coming in above us, that kind of shows us that we're clearing the path to come down and make it lower. But those buyers are removing their orders and placing them lower. So if I'm a seller and I'm coming down aggressively, I could bypass all of those orders, right? Same with above us. If we see that there was big sellers above us and they're removing their sell orders, their offers up here, and then they're placing them in this block, which we just traded, then that can further tell me that the sellers are coming down and offering lower, right? And then if there's pullbacks, you're selling into those offers, okay? Maybe we'll get another depth of market and we can show you guys this as well. Bookmap is great, but they wanted Dave and I to be their sales force, and we enjoyed it, but I didn't want to be pressured to sell their platform. I wanted to showcase it, no problem, but they were pressuring us to get you guys to buy their platform. I told them we're showcasing it every single day. People are interested, they'll visit your website, but I'm not your salesman here, okay? I don't work for you guys. Maybe we'll get NYTrading or Quant Tower, or we'll talk to Bookmap again, but we don't need to be pressured into sales. But if you guys want it, you guys have a look at it. Okay? Justin, you use Big Beluga Delta Volume on TradingView? Nice, nice. I'll look into that. Okay, so you see we're making a little bit of a bullish move coming back up. It's a little, maybe a counter buy, and then they're going to push this thing right back down, okay? Guys, I have 5 more minutes on this call. I'm sorry, I got to do something before I pick up my daughter at school. I got to go to the mall and get something. My wife's phone broke and she needs this new replacement, and she's at work right now, and I got to go get it for her. So we got 5 more minutes, guys. But you see how it came right in there again. So, and then continue to sell. So this was just what I was just talking about. If you wanted to sell the lowest point, just if you waited right there, you could have sold right there, and you're in profit with 0 drawdown. Just kind of trade with how the market's going, but wait for it to come to you. We should have sold that candle, okay? That was my bad. I was kind of looking at the time and we were getting really close to 130, so I was waiting for the 30-minute candle. But you see, guys, how it came up blue, 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 right into there, and they're slamming it back down. Okay, so you could have, when I said don't sell the lows, wait for a pullback, right there, that candle right there, holy shit, it's 70 pip candle. Okay, so continue. You see, but buyers are getting trapped. Buyers are getting trapped. The momentum is selling. That's why, guys, if you counter trade, you get excited when you see a blue candle, you can get screwed. It's the same thing too. If we were moving bullish and we see one bearish candle and we sell it and then it continues to go up. Okay, so you got to have counter trading rules, or you got to wait for physical, like double bottoms, triple bottoms. You got to wait for accumulation. Okay, guys, I just want to remind everyone, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we are having a risk management boot camp with myself. I'm hosting it Saturday and Sunday. I might start. It's 12 to 3, 12 p.m. Eastern. I might start at 11 because I might need 4 hours each day. And it is over here. If you visit the website, there's a pop-up that comes up. But you get a month with us, and you can join the Discord, you can join the signals, you can join everything that we do here. So this was the signal we were just breaking down right here at 65, right? Remember, we sold this candle kind of right in here, and this is where it's pushing down. That was that block I highlighted, continue to go down. I would be highlighting now these bodies of these candles right here if it gets down there. But regardless, guys, if you want to polish up, little refresher on some risk management, join us. You're welcome to join us. All lifetimers at SST, you guys are automatically enrolled in it. No worries for you guys. I'll have the Zoom link in the Discord Zoom channel for you guys. And here's NASDAQ going for about 200 pips selling, guys. So fantastic with the signals, guys. 2 live sessions with myself and Dave. We appreciate you guys if you guys like and subscribe to the channel. We will be back Thursday with you guys. Thursday, again, this time, 11 a.m. Tomorrow is another Zoom session. And then next week, we're going into Tokyo, and we'll add some sessions with YouTube as well. As long as you guys appreciate what we do, there's likes, and you guys are happy with what we do here, guys. Hope you guys learned something today. Tell me one thing you guys learned from today's call. In Zoom and YouTube, blast the chat with something that you guys learned today. I'm going to reread these things, and I want to know what you guys learned from today. I know you guys maybe learned that Ron is a handsome guy, but other than that, what did you guys learn from today? Kira, what time is Zoom? Our live schedule right over here, Kira, go to the website, click on live sessions. We update this every Sunday. So tomorrow, last time I checked, is Wednesday. Dave will be live at 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the Zoom, and then I'll be post 11 to same time, 11 what we did today, and we'll go till about 2 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, this is our schedule for the remaining of the week. Okay, let's see, what did you guys learn today? Sergio, stay patient and watch candles close, no impulsive decisions. That's like the golden rule of trading. When we figure that out, we figure the secret sauce of trading. Yes, we miss out on impulsive trades, but look back at right in your journal. When you took impulse trades, were they profitable trades? Were they risky trades? Were they a trade like this where it just dropped and came right back up, and and then when you're writing in your journal, right, if the trade was an impulse trade, right, what were the results? If it was a confirmed candle that closed with volume and a retest, write that in your journal and start to see how much success are you having with taking impulse candles? How much success are you taking with confirmed candles, like what we did? We waited for the fake out. But what more so, I saw that big black candle was the first candle that closed below structure. So that's confirmation of volume that closed below, okay? Check mark. The next thing I waited for was, remember, it came back up. I waited for the retest. As it went down, I sold the candle while there was a wick and still blue volume. So I sold it as it was coming down because I saw the retest. I got my confirmation volume closed. I got my retest. Check mark, check mark. I'm going down with the overall daily trend of the market. I'm selling that wedge. Perfect. Another check mark. Now all I did was I placed my stop loss right above that block just in case it needed to come back in there. Maybe tag some more sellers and I'm still safe. But as it came down, started to move down with the momentum, okay? And you see we still have not even tagged into that control zone. So that's still there. And then it gets stronger and stronger and stronger and stronger as the volume diverges away. So if it does come all the way back in there, very bullish, right in there, that's where I guarantee you it's going to, retrace back down. How far down? I don't know, but I'm telling you that that's where there's going to be a lot of sellers positioning themselves because the longer it is, the more offers are getting accumulated in there in real time, okay? So just understand that. And just, if you don't believe me, just put an alert there and make note of it. Then when it comes in there and then you don't have to be trading, you could be, learning. And if it comes in there, watch the reaction. I used to do this a lot while I was learning, okay? Learning to trade is not just jumping in, buy, sell, do I buy, sell, do I buy, sell? It's watching shit happen, acknowledging that block in the market, make an alert, and then if gold does come back in there today, later today, or tomorrow, then you'll get alerted, but then you can actually see what the result is and then make mental notes. And then that, when you know that, you know what to look for the next day and the next week and all of that. And look at how sellers are still slamming it down. So if you're kind of buying, you're getting trapped. It hasn't even closed above that zone, right? That zone is still there. That zone is still there. That zone is still there. Big bearish candle is still coming down, right? So you've got to be very careful with counter trading. It might come all the way back down to the lowest point of the day. That's where the big buyers might be. At the lowest point of the day, maybe they protect it or a little lower. Remember, they might take out the liquidity down there, then reverse it back up. But guys, that's it for me. I got to get out of here. So I had a fun time back on YouTube. Great time as always in Zoom. Make sure, guys, like and subscribe to the channel. We're posting some shorts. We're posting some trade recaps. We're posting the live sessions from Zoom. I know they're long. They might be 3 hours and some of you guys can't watch them, but they do highlight everything we do, whether there's trades that we take, it might be in the title and things like that. But I'd like to get back to YouTube going again, 5 days. No problems, but sometimes you just need a little mental break from YouTube. It's got nothing to do with you guys. It's just a mental break. I like to go back with the snipers in Zoom, focus on them, see if they need any help and things like that. So, that's what we do here, guys. But we help everybody as much as we can. But thanks, guys. I had a great day. I hope everyone enjoys the rest of the day. Don't forget big earnings, AMD, SMCI, this after hours. Thanks, guys. I had a great day. Hopefully you guys did well today. Again, if you've hit close to daily goals, whether it was you trading yourself, trading with Dave, trading with SST Signals, trading with myself, if you're on your way to your daily goal, wrap it up and stop trading. Treat it like a job. It's a job. Be a blue-collar worker. Just clock in and clock out and go on with your day. Don't sit here and stare at candles all day, okay? That's what trading is. Get in and get out. When is Trump speaking? I have no idea. Is he speaking? I don't know. Is Trump speaking today, guys? Who knows? What's he going to talk about? Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Have a good day. I got some shit to do. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern, guys. Have a great day. God bless everyone. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you. Maybe I wore my lucky Blue Jays hat again today. Okay, we still support the Blue Jays. Have a good day, guys. Thanks, Sergio. Have a fantastic day. Have a good day, guys. Thank you. Enjoy your day. Always make your day positive, guys. There's more to life. Just be happy, guys, Stay happy. Stay blessed. Enjoy your day.
Hey guys, good morning, welcome to the live session of Stocks NYTrading. My name is Dave, guys, my partner is Ron. Let's get down to business here, guys.
In on US30, sell it. Okay, I'm jumping in. Guys, that's a 100 pip drop. Yes, we caught it. Hey, guys, 200 pips, please secure.